After 8 of 10 events, Sam Soverel sits atop the race for the Golden Eagle thanks to a win in Event 3 and a runner-up finish in Event number 7. But hot on his heels is Ren Lin, the Event 2 winner coming into today third in chips. He'll have to face the likes of Nick Schulman, Cary Katz, and chip leader Brian Kim if he wants a chance at that 50K bonus. The title of 2023 US Poker Open champion starts to come into focus right now.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, the PokerGO studio to be exact. It is a wonderful day for some high-stakes tournament action, and the name of the game is once again No Limit Hold'em. It's a 25K buy-in, event number 9 at the 2023 USPO. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me as always for exclusive YouTube coverage of this wonderful event. Jeff Platt and Brent Hanks are in the booth on PokerGO.com, and Natalie Brody will join us to give us some updates from the floor today. Here's a look at the chip counts presented by Global Poker. Brian Kim in the lead with over 2 million chips. Nick Schulman, arguably the biggest star at this table, is the short stack. And there you can see the rest of the names, including Cary Katz, Punnat Punsri, Dan Smith, and the man with the best chance to win the USPO if he has a good result today, Mr. Ren Lin. Donnie will update you in just a second on all sorts of scenarios for the Cup, the title, and of course a 50K cash bonus. And here's a look at the 2023 USPO standings. As Jeff mentioned, Soverel on top, Ren Lin in 5th place. But every pay jump that he manages to make will have massive implications for those overall standings, with just one event left to be played, which is the 50K No Limit, starting today at 2 p.m. Las Vegas time. If you're in the neighborhood, you can just still play this event, and we're streaming that tomorrow here on YouTube as well. Just a look there at the payouts, just shy of 400K for first. Let's get those cards in the air. People in the chat, show us some love. Give us some hype. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's make it into a good show. I cannot wait to see if Schulman can make a little bit of a comeback. Action on Punsri first. Pocket sevens. We are well underway. Different hat for Dan Smith. Let's see if this one proves to be lucky versus the dark hat he wore on the previous stream, where Isaac Haxton ultimately ended up coming out on top. Donnie Peters.
What's up?
We got some action. We got some new faces for this year's USPO, but most importantly, we have Ren Lin in an amazing spot to take a commanding lead in the race for the Gold Eagle.
Yeah, Ren Lin can move into first place on the series leaderboard with a second place finish in this event or better. Smith is the only other player. Well, Smith and Cary Katz are the only other players with cashes. Kim, Punsri, and Schulman. This is their first cash of the series, so they can earn a lot of points, but not really do too much damage at the top of the leaderboard. Cary Katz came into this one with only 18 points. But the thing with Cary Katz is that he can retake the overall lead on the PGT season-long leaderboard if he finishes in 4th place or better.
Not bad. Lots of scenarios to be played out. Most importantly, of course, and first and foremost, who's going to win this tournament, Donnie? Dan Smith was chip leader at our Saturday final table, ended up getting unlucky in the 3-handed battle. Do you think this is Smith's redemption story?
Could very well be. I mean, I know he wants it, that's for sure.
Action on Smith here with ace-king offsuit.
85,000. It's a good hand for that redemption story.
It is. Schulman is our short stack. He has queen 10 suited here. Started the final table with just 16 big blinds. Cary Katz tied with him, also on 16 bigs. Got a whole bunch of people in the chat. I see a whole bunch of regulars.
Might put this in.
Ooh. Oh, there it goes. Nick Schulman, hand number 2, all in with queen 10 suited.
Thank you.
Wow. We all know that Dan Smith is not folding ace-king. So Nick Schulman is going to be at risk as Ren Lin folds an ace. Dan Smith makes the call. We have an all-in showdown here. Ladies and gentlemen, can Schulman make a comeback, or will he be gone in just 2 hands?
Not the worst case scenario for Schulman. 2 live cards, his suits is live, you know. It could be a lot worse for him.
Here comes the flop. Ooh, queen 9-3. Schulman picks up the queen, remains stoic, but now knows that Dan Smith has only 6 outs on screen. We know that Ren Lin folded the ace of spades. 5 of clubs on the turn. Nick Schulman 1 card away from doubling up and being right back in this thing. Can Schulman fade the river? River card. Oh, wow. Ace on the river. Nick Schulman. Wow, he just walks off the stage.
Wow.
Collects 70K, but
Ace king.
will be thoroughly displeased with this outcome. I mean, I've never seen someone leave the studio that fast.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do there? Get it all in with decent equity with the queen 10 suited after you do get called. You know, you're hoping you can probably get it through pre-flop. Then you take the lead.
Oy, 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 oy.
And then it's just, the river is just a brutal one.
Quick departure for Schulman. On a scale of 0 to 100, chat, how tilted do you think Schulman was after that ace on the river? Wow. Started today with some drama. Quiet drama. Schulman and Smith go way back. There were no pleasantries exchanged, no fist pumps to go around. Schulman on his way out the door, and hopefully we'll see him enter the 50K later today, as action is now on Ren Lin with pocket eights. Mr. No Gamble, No Future himself. I hope he brought the sticker for today.
Dan Smith now up into the chip lead with that pot, taking out Nick Schulman in 6th place. Punsri with a playable ace-5 off here from the big blind, especially against a button open. See how he wants to approach this one.
All in. All in.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, there's a shove. Okay, here we go.
Gamble too much, title number 1.
What are you going to do, Ren Lin?
How
Donnie,
much total?
give us some analysis, Donnie. Is this a callable shove?
I don't think I can fold that.
I think you have to call. I mean, ace I think is just too good here.
$1,040,000.
1,040,000. How much I got?
And obviously you have Cary Katz there with 16 big blinds that you have to be concerned about.
You cover the me, right?
10 seconds.
70, 80,
Aggressive shove from Punsri, Donnie. 27 bigs in the middle here.
Yeah, 27 bigs, but the ace-5 blocks a lot of premiums that Ren Lin can have.
Wow.
If he does get
Are you
called, I
seven?
mean, a lot of the times he's not in the worst shape.
10 seconds.
I think at this point, Punsri's hoping for a fold. You know, Ren's not tanking here with the king-queen or a king-jack, something like that.
Right.
Tanking with a pair like he has. Might even be thinking with an ace-jack type of hand. He's already used up 2 time extensions.
Are you calling, Donnie?
Yeah, I would call.
Wow, just burning a lot of clock here. Chat, let us know. Are you calling with pocket eights, or are you waiting for a better spot? We know he's up against ace-5, but hey, keep in mind that very well might be ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack. You're flipping at best in most cases. I feel as though if he were to call, why waste all these time bank chips?
Well, yeah. But it's also like, are you going to waste them and then ultimately fold?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you might as well have something to show for the fact that you've thrown a whole bunch of them in.
Ren Lin just not ready to commit his stack just yet. And just continues to flick in the time extension chips. If he keeps going, he's going to have none to shuffle with in just a few. I mean, chat seems to be heavily leaning towards call, but there are still some people who are better off folding. Wow.
I think sevens you probably put into the muck. I think eights is a hand you
Oh.
just have to call. I mean, I think it's just that.
Is
It's
that
like that close, you know.
10 seconds.
Which I think is obviously shown here with Ren tanking for a long time here. I mean, this is not an easy decision.
He does lay it down.
You fold sixes?
Huh?
You fold sixes?
My eights.
Okay, 7, I think.
Wow,
Cary
Cary
knows.
Katz.
I need one.
Cary Katz just says it.
I'm
eights.
But Punsri also
think
had
it's
an idea there,
27,
right?
given how long you tanked it. You fold sixes. I mean,
It's
it's in that range. I think sixes.
Very tight
Ren Lin
fold.
probably would have snap folded, or
Eights.
folded quicker at least.
That's what you had. You had eights.
Typo. Is 7? Ah, yeah.
No, I don't have.
Huh?
I don't have a 7 in mind.
Cary Katz was spot on there with his read as Ren Lin throws eights into the muck, allowing Punnat Punsri to chip up without showdown. Katz are short stack with 16 big blinds. Dan Smith on top after knocking out Nick Schulman. Here's a look at those chip counts presented by Global Poker. We are 5-handed at the 2023 USPO in event number 9. Appreciate you all for tuning in to the chat, to the stream.
No future.
Much love.
You didn't have your sticker. I think you would have gone in. You had to.
Yeah,
have
oh,
the
I
future.
forgot it. If
What is it? We need to get you one.
I need to go find it. I think I got one behind. Ah. Really tight today, see? Tell you.
Yeah.
Super tight.
Big chip leader.
If you're enjoying the stream, please smash that like button and
We're out.
subscribe to the channel.
Chip leader
Please know
out.
that when we hit 500 likes on today's video, we'll give away a free annual subscription to PokerGo.
You said 500?
500.
500. All right.
110.
Good goal. Let's go, people.
110,000.
Joshua King said 5-5 plus is a call. I'm not so sure about that. I really think it's 8-8 plus.
Miles Strickland, not a fan of Dan Smith in the chat. So who are you
No
guys
pressure
rooting for?
today. Really
Who
tight.
do you want to see win?
What you got against Dan Smith?
Yeah. How
He must
can
be
I
a Phil
fold
Helmy
there?
fan. That's what it must be.
85,000.
Ren Lin pacing away from the table. Letting off a little steam there from that fold.
Probably like still overthinking it. All right, listening to those beats here to look at the age and the winnings last year of the players at the final table. Punsri, the youngest player with the highest earnings, taking home a whopping $4 million for his efforts. Brian Kim, 32 years old, 801K. He, of course, became well known for his deep run in the main events, WSB main event run that he had, where he played that epic hand versus the French player whose name escapes me. But that was highly entertaining. Didn't he fold queens?
Folded 2 queens. Against ace high.
The World Series Poker main event, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the main event. A lot of people rooting for Nick Schulman, who we lost in hand number 2, which is crazy. Man of Straw asking, is this the final event of the series? No. Tomorrow's 50K is going to be the final event of the series. That event starts at 2 p.m. today inside the studio. We'll have live reporting up on pgt.com. whenever cards go in the air there. And then we're streaming that tomorrow live at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
50K final table, no big deal. A little bit of a slower structure, so it should be a nice, lengthy final table.
Could be a tricky spot here for Dan Smith, flopping top pair in position after raising on the button. Cary Katz flopping top 2 pair.
I think you call at 50.
Ace and ace comes
Go home.
in.
So, yeah, good.
No, but he can be tugging.
All in.
Cary moves all in.
Wow, 2 pair for Katz here
100.
against top pair of Smith, who has backdoor spades.
480. Well, 400 more.
You might just have to call this too much hand here. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw as well with that 9 of spades.
480. Hold on.
Probably doesn't feel great about it though against Cary Katz.
Cary has the exact hand Dan Smith does not want to see.
Cary's also playing this hand out of the small blind instead of the big blind, so he's likely has a little bit of a tighter range pre-flop, just calling that button range. I mean, hands like Jack 10, Queen Jack, I think are all in the realm of possibilities. Of course, I mean, fairly wet board. Like, he can have some draws here, he can have some combo draws, etc. Dan Smith obviously having that 9 of spades in his hand. It's definitely something that's running through his mind.
When we saw Smith at Saturday's final table, we know he is very deliberate, takes his time when he has the option to, never rushes into a decision. But it is tough to get away from this one, even though Katz is not known to show up with nothing here.
10 seconds.
Up to Dan to figure out if he has enough equity here.
I call.
Smith
nine?
makes the call.
What do you got? Jag 9?
King Jack or Jack ace.
Wow. I'm surprised that's such a hard call. Seems like an easy one.
Katz in a commanding position here to double up. Smith just 3 outs twice, but of course has some backdoor draws, both spades and straights. Let's see if the turn improves his chances. 10 of spades would be ideal for him. Turn card. It is the queen of clubs, adding some outs. Smith now with 10 outs.
Something low in red. Or pair the board.
Queen will counterfeit Cary Katz.
Let's see the river card. It is low and red.
And pair the board. Got both.
Cary Katz
You don't
got
wanna
exactly
pair
what he
the
wanted.
Queen?
No. Good point.
The power
Yeah,
dynamics
got nugget.
shifting quite a bit here.
And they got better kicker.
Yeah, that queen
As
was
Cary Katz, of course,
really good card
reigning
for
PokerGO Cup champ now, 12th
He
on
got too
PokerGo's
many outs on
all-time
that
money
card.
list, charging up the rankings, getting towards the top 10. But now sitting on 30 big blinds in this tournament. Hasn't had a good series so far, but the beauty of these tournaments is one big result
What were you
and
putting me on?
all
that
is
instead of
well.
folding?
Better jack.
Do you have a restacks of football there, or is it, can't see? Thank you.
We've got 2. And
Okay, thanks.
2.5.
That'd have been an amazing fold.
Friendly.
Friendly? Okay. Very friendly. Friendly.
Have not
What
seen.
the hell? You say friendly and I just call and you raise me. Huh? What's wrong? Ah, yeah, give me 20K back.
Brian Kim gets a little slap.
He wanted you to be friendly. Doesn't mean he has to be.
Ah, yeah, not very nice.
Brian Kim pretty quiet so far, as the chip leader knows there's no rush or pressure on him to rack up some chips. And there we see it, 23rd in the main event last year. Of course, also won a bracelet last year. Was that an online event, Donnie?
Yes, it was an online event. I believe he won a 5K.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Dale is asking, how many more events, or is this the last one? Tomorrow is the last event of the series, a 50K no-limit event, which will decide who wins the overall
First open. It's very exciting.
ranking here as Cary Katz raises with King-Queen offsuit. Because of the way the points are weighted, it is still anyone's game. At least if you are at this final table right now, you will have a chance to win with a win in the 50K.
That's 10.5. I mean, 1,050,000 below, and then
1 million.
1. I got about 1.2.
Okay, thank you.
That's exactly 1.2 million. Well done. Cameron asking, do we know the 50K final table yet? No, they start playing on day 1 at 2 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. Paul Wiggins pointing out how few likes this video has. Well,
Get on your people, man. You're out there in the chat streets. Let's go.
appreciate everyone for engaging with us. Send in your questions or remarks.
150.
150,000.
I'm sure we'll have some random nonsense to discuss as the stream goes on. But right now, we have Katz continuing on a 7-6-5 flop, where Punsri has flopped top pair. Donnie, knowing that Katz is on the tighter side and Punsri doesn't have, you know, the best possible hand here, how do you play sort of a middling top pair on a draw-heavy flop, knowing your opponent? You know, you're going to have to give him credit for a whole lot more than just a 7.
Yeah, I think you have to just proceed with caution. Not go too crazy here with your top pair. Although we can see he's in a very good position, is Punsri. Queen of diamonds on the turn puts Katz in the lead. It's also a card that Katz is probably going to try and represent, even if he didn't have the queen. So, could be a tricky one for Punsri, but we'll see how this one proceeds. I wouldn't expect Cary to slow down now.
Queen, of course, turns the tables on this hand. Ooh, goes check, check.
Is that close enough? Tied to the runner.
River Cars, ace of diamonds, third diamond out there. We might see check, check again, honestly. It's very possible.
Check.
Jack 7?
Huh?
Jack 7?
It does go check, check. Katz makes a little bit of money. Donnie, do you think he should be continuing on the turn there, or is that not necessary?
Probably would have continued on the turn, deny some equity with, you know, there's a lot of draws out there. Obviously 3 to a straight on the flop. Turn brings some, you know, backdoor diamonds that could come in. You don't have any of those cards in your hand. You got a black king queen, so you know you can deny some equity and also equally squeak out some extra value.
Here's a look at the last 5 years of Cary Katz. Of course, 2019, 10.7 million, monster year. Overall, extremely solid, raking them in year after year, now up to 36.5 million in career earnings. And as I said, slowly creeping towards the top 10 of the all-time money list. Pardal da Jamaica says, the sound of chips are satisfying and agonizing at the same time. All right, chat. What are your thoughts on chip shuffling? And I know I speak for Donnie. When we go to the office, yes, we go to the PokerGO office. Donnie and I shuffle chips at our desk. Are we crazy? Are we crazy, or are you guys at home, you know, watching TV, playing online poker while shuffling chips? We need to settle this once and for all.
I got chips on my desk at
It's always
home.
easier to call
Does your
somebody
wife hate
else's
you?
chips.
No, because I'm in like my little office area, so it's fine.
Okay. There was a time that I had a stack of chips sort of like on the coffee table, and I would just sit there watching a movie, shuffling chips endlessly until I almost got decapitated by my girlfriend.
Oh, that's great. It's gotten to the point now where my daughter is old enough to recognize a lot of things, so she hears them and she goes, "Poker? Poker?"
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
she thinks I'm playing poker.
That's
Whenever I'm just shuffling the chips, like at my computer, she thinks I'm playing poker, and she wants to come. She's like, "Can I play poker?" So I put her on my lap, and she thinks playing poker is like just playing with the chips.
Oh, that's great.
So she'll stack them. She just goes whoosh, like puts them all over the table, and they're all spread out, and then she stacks them back up. She says, "Your turn,
Small
Daddy."
bump, I think
And then I do it.
this-
That's what she thinks playing poker is.
And then she says, "Daddy, gambling problem?"
Yeah, limp.
Typo.
Limped under the gun.
Trey says he shuffles chips while driving. I might be unsafe, especially if you're driving around the DMV, Trey. I mean, it's sketchy enough driving around there, you know, when you got both hands on the wheel. I mean,
Bob Snyder says, "I love the chip shuffling sound." Perpetual Grant says, "I never noticed the chip sounds until someone mentions it." The funniest thing, and it's happened to me quite a few times, when you take a poker rookie or sort of a family member into a big poker room, WSOP for example, or you know whatever live event you go to, and the first thing they point out is the sound.
Thank you.
They're like,
which we don't even hear anymore.
no, but it's like they're like it's like like 1,000 crickets in this room. I think it's beautiful. I think it's satisfying, and I think it's one of my favorite sounds in the world. It is like a million crickets.
220.
Oh, here comes Dan Smith. Got a little button small blind action. Katz lays down from the big blind. Donnie, if you're Punsri in position, King 9 suited, is that good enough to tangle with?
I don't think so. King 9, suited, unsuited, it's just a hand that gets you in trouble. You and I have talked about King 9 before. King just gets you in a whole world of trouble.
What is sort of the cutoff here, range-wise, that you are willing to take a flop with?
10 seconds.
Probably a lot of pairs, suited connectors.
Punsri lays it down. Maybe you should run this one in a GTO Wizard, Donnie. I'm curious.
I will.
By the way, we have a cool partnership with GTO Wizard, gtowizard.com/PokerGO. You can practice for free and also get a 10% discount if you use the link. I'm getting excited again about studying poker just by using their interface. Some really cool stuff. Joe Gross says, "I shuffle in the office all day, every day. I'm pretty sure all my coworkers hate me." Unless you work in poker, you're probably right.
80,000.
Lots of chip shufflers in the chat. Now my question is, what kind of chips do you shuffle? So the chips that I have, this is kind of funny, the opening night of the new Circuit Casino, I got a stack of 20 $1 chips. Those are my go-to shuffling chips.
There you go.
I also have
I'll give you some action.
chips from
as
every
Dan likes
Vegas
to say.
casino at my house, so I could mix it up if I wanted to. Kim, meanwhile, raising with Ace-8 suited to 80K. We're playing 20-40 with
I gotta give you
40
credit.
big blind ante.
Thank you.
Katz calls in the small blind, and Lin Ace-4 off in the big blind. Might see some three-way action here.
I'm chicken today.
Ren Lin is the chicken
Because you don't
today.
have your no gamble in the future.
I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Because my mama watching, so I need to follow everything.
Gotcha.
Only
Makes
play
sense.
aces and kings.
I'll check to the leader. The man with the yellow chips.
Gary's got some talking chips after that double up that he just scored.
85.
third pot here from Kim. Katz comes along. 8 on the turn. Katz checks again. We'll see if Kim wants to continue again or if he likes to take the showdown route. Picking up a pair on the turn here. He does check behind. Deuce of clubs on the river. Checkmark going to Kim as long as he doesn't fold this hand. Cary looks like he's coming with some chips.
150,000.
150 into 400.
Brian Kim taking his time here. His pair of 8s, of course, is going to be good some percentage of the time, but is the price right for him to make the call here? Lays it down. Cary Katz gets away with one.
Wow, boss man.
Yeah, just got
Easy
lucky on that
game.
one.
You are cheap leader. No? Oh,
Not yet.
Here's a look at the all-time USPO cash list. Cary Katz tied now with Steven Chidwick, who did not show up for this year's USPO.
Rich guy, so you're right.
It's a who's who of the international poker scene here at the 2023 USPO. But if you want a chance to play inside this beautiful Las Vegas PokerGO studio, you should just become an annual subscriber to PokerGO. Use promo code DREAMSEAT to save $20 on your annual subscription. And then, and only then, will you have 3 chances in our upcoming raffles to maybe win a seat in our $1 million free roll.
You got me so scared, I'm just going to limp.
Our PGT Championship to happen in December here at the studio. We're going to put
Half a
3
blind.
of our annual subs
Best deal ever.
in that event.
Oh.
Get
Only
a chance to
play
play
2.
against some of
You
these
normally
guys.
pop it up here like 3, 4x. Like, actually, every time I've limped, you popped it up. You got to keep your perfect record going.
All annual PokerGO subscribers are automatically entered into that raffle. Our first draw is on June 6th, just so you know. You still got time.
See if I
And
can
if you're a
do
monthly or quarterly subscriber, you will need to upgrade in order to be eligible for that giveaway. And
Yeah, we
upgrading
checked.
also
Checked
does
around.
save you a couple bucks a month, so use that promo code DREAMSEAT when you upgrade.
I'll give you one more free one.
The buy-in
I'll give
has
you
gone
one.
up, and I feel as though the vibe, sort of the overall average vibe, has gotten a bit more serious as the USPO has gone on. We've seen lots of banter in these first few final tables, and right now, it feels like the tension has been cranked up a notch.
50,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the end of the series, this being the penultimate event. You know, these players are obviously chasing points. They're chasing that $50,000 series championship bonus. All of that stuff is on the line, in addition to, of course, the $400,000 first place prize they're playing for.
Merry Christmas.
No, Cary, you got it.
Good.
Wow, Katz is just winning one
Oh.
pot after another.
He might become chip leader soon if
Yeah.
he keeps going this way.
Katz up to 1.8 million, just 100K
was
behind
scarier than a bigger
Smith
bet.
and Kim. Lin, the short stack with 16 bigs.
Super One said, wait, why do you have to upgrade if I'm watching for free? Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons. One, high stakes poker every week.
What?
2, no gamble, no future every week. 3, WSOP live streams on PokerGO behind the paywall, including the WSP main event. Those are all reasons why you should upgrade. And then, of course, you should upgrade to get into the raffle for the $1 million free roll seats.
That's
I mean,
Daniel always says limping is pimping. So. Do it again.
Cary's,
Wow.
Cary's feeling it, man.
Carries with the times.
He's feeling it.
It's amazing. Charger T says Katz is on a roll here. Awesome. I mean, he's definitely on a roll.
Friendly game.
And then don't tell me the friend again that won.
No set for Cary Katz, and a great looking flop here for Punsri. If you have 9-6 of clubs and you see the 7-4-8 with 2 clubs roll off the deck, you've got to be really happy. And then, of course, after it goes check, check, you hit a 5. Punsri makes it straight. Katz now drawing dead.
2.9? 1.9.
Ryan Johnson asking about the WSOP streaming schedule. Has not been released. We're still working on it with WSOP.
Soon, though. Very soon.
That is a very,
70.
very large undertaking. 70K from Punsri. Katz lays it down. Here's a look
Sir,
at
are you the chip
Punnat
lead now?
Punsri's bio sheet.
I'm struggling to.
An investor from Bangkok, Thailand.
What you have.
Number 1 on Thailand's all-time
That's a
money
40. That
list.
makes it easier.
Yeah, that's easy.
Largely due to his massive win at Trident Cyprus in 2022.
1.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.75.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Down. Shaking today.
Ren Lin taking a very tight approach. Just trying to survive at this point. Action on Brian Kim with
about
ace
my
on the
name?
button.
Yeah, you gotta say hi.
Hi, Mama.
Ren Lin saying hi to his
Where's she
mom.
watching from?
No, in China. Especially watching, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to
It's like 4
Ren Lin's mom. If you're Ren Lin's mom in the chat, please let us know.
So there is
I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of Ren Lin's mom.
I mean, if you identify
Okay,
as
gotcha.
Ren Lin's
Don't wanna
mom,
get her in trouble.
you can let us know. If I then remember your name, I will always refer to you as Ren Lin's mom. Young Trapper says, "Where's Nick Schulman? I got clickbaited." Well, not really. Nick Schulman just busted on hand number 2. Not much we can do about it. Let me change the title.
75,000.
Oh, it starts at 2. I was about to say it was a bad turnout.
Sam Soverall showed up at 11:45.
For the
Thinking it started at noon.
Anybody registered yet? No.
I think that poker tournament should start way earlier.
10 seconds.
Kim continues here for 75K on the 6-high flop with 2 8s.
235.
Check raise from Smith.
35,000.
There goes. Ren Lin has so many moms in the chat. Richard asking for the promo code. It is promo code DREAMSEAT, all one word, DREAMSEAT, to save $20 on your annual sub if you become an annual subscriber. Great value if I say so myself. You got 3 raffle chances and you get a whole bunch of content. You get to hang out with your favorite poker people. We got Jeff Plattenberg and Hanks on the call today.
Kim came along, calling that check raise on the flop from Smith. Ace of hearts on the turn. We'll see if Smith wants to continue with the aggression here or if that card causes him to take his foot off the gas a little bit and slow down. Kim and Smith. The two biggest stacks at the table to start this hand. Chris Rick says 300 more likes for the giveaway. That is correct.
Thank you.
Remko is going to be giving away the annual subscription once we get to 500 likes on this video. Hit that thumbs up, smash that like. Also give us a little love, become a subscriber to the YouTube channel. You got it, Proper Zing. Dan Smith uses a second time extension. Really contemplating what he's going to do here. If he's thinking this long, I'm guessing he's considering the sizing that he's going to go with the bet.
400.
400K is the wager.
Interesting spot here for Brian Kim, Donnie. Just too bad that one of the sevens that he needs to make it straight is in Smith's hand.
Yeah, tricky spot to continue with here. He does decide to give it up.
Do you think that's a good decision? Not knowing what's to come on the river?
I mean, on the river, you're probably going to be faced with another tricky spot, which just makes it all that more concerning.
Here's a look at Dan Smith's career highlights, going all the way back to 08 when he won his first event for 101K. This guy has been around for such a long time, crushing the game every single year that he decides to step onto the field. His largest cash, of course, third in that $1 million buy-in Triton event back in 2019, the event won by Bryn Kenny. All right, blinds are up. We're playing 25K, 50K with a 50K big blind ante. Chips are still very tight at the top. Punsri now slipping down to just 16 bigs. Lin on 13 bigs.
Listen.
Action folds to Punsri on the button. Lays down a6 offsuit. Things are not going his way for now.
Digital Warfare Records. The 50K doesn't start for another 17 minutes or so, so we'll see if Nick Schulman hops in there. My guess is yes. Although, the way he went out of this 25K final table, may even see him late reg on a little tilt. I mean, it's, you know, got to get that steam off.
He might take a baseball bat to a watermelon or something just to get some frustration out. If you're just tuning in, and I know we've had a lot of people show up in the last few minutes, when we get to 500 likes on today's video, we're giving away a free annual subscription to PokerGO. And yes, the winner of that giveaway will also be eligible for our raffle, in which we're giving away $1 million free roll seat. Donnie, imagine if someone watching our YouTube stream won the free sub and then wins the $1 million free roll.
I mean, it'd be absolutely incredible.
Kind of epic.
I feel like we should get 5% or something, right? I mean,
you got trouble.
should be baked into the giveaway. 5% for our coffee or something.
Yeah, 50.
Lin in the big blind here with the short stack.
Let's
see if Cary Katz applies some pressure here on Lin with a6 off.
Owen.
He does.
Man.
Friendly.
Wow, friendly for Owen. Ha.
You got eights? You got
If I got an ace, I think I need a call this time.
Oh, I know. Good.
I love how Ren Lin calls Cary Katz Boss Man. Maybe one of the better nicknames. Here's a look at our 2023 USPO Series report. Sovereign in the lead, 3 cashes, 1 win. No repeat winner so far, which is kind of rare at the USPO. We always have someone who just goes on a bit of a heater.
Had some close calls, though.
Yeah, and Brewer, Fox, and Lin, 4 cashes apiece. Sean Winter drawing live to repeat as USPO champ. We still have the 50K to come. So the conclusion tomorrow will be epic, depending on what lineup we are presented with. And obviously, as always, and I'm still hoping we get to see this, I want to see a Negreanu Hellmuth final table. Both of them.
Please.
That's
We've gotten close.
That's all I want. We've gotten close a few times.
Okay.
Be awesome.
Lady Gaga, I need a game ball.
Might set
Oh.
viewership records.
Here we go. No
Oh,
gamble, no future.
Oh, you can eat.
All you can eat,
yeah.
baby.
Big one. Jet Gaga. King Gaga. King Jet.
King Jack all in for Lin. How can you not root for this guy?
He's amazing.
Minimal.
Ren Lin had a great PGT PLO series. Obviously has had a pretty successful USPO so far, including this final table appearance, no matter where he finishes.
How would you describe his style, Donnie? We love to put people into boxes, you know, the...
Outgoing.
No, his playing style.
Yeah, outgoing.
Is even his playing
Need a
style
free time.
outgoing?
I
think
need a
so.
free
Does his
time.
playing style match his personality?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty cool. That's funny. Does your playing style match your personality?
I have no idea. I mean, probably.
What's your playing style?
Couldn't tell you.
Are you scared to tell people they'll take advantage of you?
No. I mean, I don't know. Depends who you
Yeah.
ask.
My Lady Gaga.
Oh, here we go
Let's
again.
go. All in.
2 in a row.
He keeps saying Lady Gaga, but he doesn't have those. He's not looking for them. But Kim does have one of them.
Come on, Tyler, number 1. One time. Yeah.
Thailand number 1.
Thailand number 1 folds.
Lucky dealer.
Oh.
My Lady Gaga.
Oh, the dealer's the Lady
Oh,
Gaga.
there we go.
go.
Now I get it.
She's giving him all the cards.
Now I get it.
You look gorgeous today. Ooh.
Ren Lin has Lady Gaga, touchdown Tom Brady,
Yep.
no gamble, no future. His 3 most popular sayings.
Lin, of course, already
Don't
working
change
on
it.
a successful series with a win in event number 2.
Okay, order dealer break.
Let us know in the chat. Does your personality match your poker playing style? I think mine matches perfectly. I play
I need
a
a
loose, aggressive style. I love to talk.
Take one off.
700. 695.
I don't love to talk, that's for sure.
Yo, how are you even a poker commentator?
Well, I like to talk to the people on the internet. The internet people are my people. The people in real life at the poker table are not my people. Those people drive me insane.
Young Trapper asking how much is the rake for this event. Well, if you show up on time, there's no rake. Punsri, King 10, suited in the small blind, down to just 14 bigs. He is now our short stack.
You said 695?
Flush that. So 720.
720, Smith with A7 off. Is this on the edge, Donnie, or is it just too weak? 14 bigs.
720?
Yeah.
I think you might have to call this.
Oh, is that a call?
No, I think Dan just puts his chips out to the side, thinks about it.
That feels weird to me. Like, that was a serious...
Call.
He does make the call. All right, no controversy here. Punnat Punsri clearly knew that Smith had not called when he moved that stack forward. And here we go. We got 1.5 million in the middle.
What do you have, Dan? I can't see.
Ace of
Punsri
clubs, 7 of spades.
At risk. A7 versus King 10. Who you
very
got,
clear.
chat?
You s-
Natural 8.
It's a fair fight.
Natural 8. Punsri with a beautiful looking King 10 of diamonds, but he needs some help to stay alive.
Such a pretty hand.
Oh, it looks so good. Also a great scenario here for Punsri. Not dominated in the slightest. And Queen 5-3 is not going to do him many favors. a king or a 10 or running straight cards, or he will be eliminated. Turn card. It is a king, and Punsri spikes it, hits top pair, and now all of a sudden, Dan Smith looking for an ace.
Could we see another ace on the river for Mr. Smith?
I mean, we saw it once. We could see it again. Schulman departed earlier with an ace on the river, but it is running kings for Punnat Punsri. And as Ren Lin called him, Thailand #1 with the double up. And now Smith and Punsri virtually tied in chips. Brian Kim also sitting on 28 bigs. Cary Katz is our chip leader, not due to him winning chips, but due to everyone else losing chips. Katz sitting on 38 big blinds. Ren Lin, our short stack, dangling off the back with just 15 big blinds. And here's a look for those Here's a look at those chip counts in order, presented by Global Poker. I mean, I'm starting to think that Cary might run away with this because everyone else is just trying to bust each other. All right, here we are. Cards back in the air. 2023 USPO.
I feel like I'm in a sci-fi thriller.
I know. All right. King 9 suited for Brian Kim. Hasn't been able to make much happen at the final table. Donnie, any interesting notes from yesterday's day 1 play in this event?
Well, Negreanu finished into the money, just squeaked into the money, 7th place, and $47,000, and then busted. It hasn't really been his series, as he, tweeted out. He's had some close calls, some deep runs, hasn't been in the money that much, but he's getting there, right? And it's like almost, it's just on the verge of him getting that kind of breakthrough, whether it's final tables, victories, etc. It feels like it's coming. It was Negreanu's 13th cash of the season, which is the most of any player on the PGT this year. The record for most cashes in a season is 34. So Negreanu kind of well on his way to challenging that record here in the 3rd season of the PGT.
Action is checked. Spade on the turn there for Brian Kim, who makes the king high flush.
Cary gonna throw out a little bet here, try and steal this one. We can obviously see that Brian Kim is not going anywhere with his king high flush. Probably no need to raise here. Just call, keep Cary on the hook for another street, especially being in position. Six would obviously be a very bad card for Cary Katz. Ace of clubs though on the river. Out of the big blind, I mean, Cary could represent a deuce here. He elects to check, though. See what sort of sizing Kim is going to come with.
Ace on the river. Katz decides to surrender for now. Don't think he'll be up to anything out of line here on the river. Trying to preserve his stack a little bit. Kim with a nice little pickup here as Cary Katz throws his hand into the muck. I mean, Donnie, the chips are so tight in this event. There are not a lot of big blinds to go around.
Nope.
How do you think this is going to affect play until we, perhaps lose one or two?
I think it's going to take a lot of maneuvering, a lot of creativity from the players. Because I don't think anyone here is willing to give up chips easily or splash around too much. They're all playing pretty close to the vest overall. And then I think card distribution, Unfortunately, it's going to take getting some good hands. Getting close to 400 likes on the video.
Nice.
Get us up there to 500 people. Let's go. Smash that like, hit that thumbs up button. We hit 500. Remko's doing a giveaway for y'all.
Beautiful cards here for Dan Smith on the button. Queen Jack suited.
Queen Jack suited.
It looks so good. I think I'm probably down the most money lifetime with Queen Jack suited. I think Queen Jack suited is like my downfall.
Remember when you used to have like Hold'em Manager? You could see like
Yes.
what hands.
Oh
you're like,
my God.
Like, oh, I'm horrible with ace 10. Like I win all the money with aces. You know, like stuff like that. It was great.
Back when playing for set value was still a thing.
Oh yeah.
I was always down tons of money with my pocket
Okay,
pairs.
let's just see the flop. Okay.
Oh, Ren Lin potentially getting into a little bit of trouble here with the
What do you
inferior
think?
queen. It's good to see Dan Smith bringing back the same watch from the previous final table.
Yeah, the 50K Rolex.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We went through the watch talk on the last broadcast, and I saw someone comment earlier saying that their whole social media feed was now full of watch ads. More than happy to ruin that for you guys.
Minimum bet here.
Lady Gaga. I need a Lady Gaga.
I don't know if you wanted a Lady Gaga on that spot.
This hand? No?
Dan's going to show him his own Lady
Oh,
Gaga.
you got Lady Gaga too. Better kicker?
You were dominated.
No. I think I got better kicker. Queen 10.
You think Dan's opening Queen
It is
7?
queen.
Ace Queen? Really? I almost shuffle in. Almost. Ace Queen? Really? No, Ace Queen, he just choke.
Yeah, could have been king.
It can be Queen 5. Is that right? Yeah. And then bluff too much.
I just want to see Ren Lin double up. I don't want to lose that Ren Lin energy from this final table.
Did Dan say ace queen? I don't think Dan said. I think that was Cary that said ace queen. I don't think Dan said a word there. All he said was that he was dominated. Katz limping the button, a7. Kim elects to see it for free with the 10-4 off. Check, check on the flop. Kim checks the turn. Min bet on the turn from Cary. Gets it done. He gets back out in front with the chip lead. These guys are so close.
Taking the
1.5.
1.5. I have 1.6.
Yeah, 1.5.
Really?
One
I just thought you had 720 when you doubled up and didn't want to pot since.
Yeah, 720 plus your ante, right? 1.49.
Raise.
Actually folds to Brian Kim with queen 7 of spades, raises it up and
170.
immediately gives a little side eye to Punsri. Doesn't find anything to play with, throws it into the muck.
How much you have done?
Very close to 1.6.
Yeah.
And yourself?
1.73.
So Cary is chip lead as per usual.
All in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Here
go,
goes,
Lady
here goes Lin with
Gaga.
5s.
We're all about the same.
He's at risk here if someone decides to call. Just 12 bigs for Lin. Punsri with ace-8 off in the small blind.
Wood's got around 30 bigs.
610.
Cary Katz is not wrong. He's our chip leader with 35 bigs. The shortest stack aside from Lin is Punsri with 27. So very
No
tight
game
field
ball,
here.
no future.
Might have an impact here on Punsri's decision to call or not.
Typo. Oof.
Very tight, bro.
I play very tired today. Minimal, maybe. I don't know. Can't tell. Minimal pair.
Ren Lin from China, 13th on the GPI ranking. Very consistent performer in live tournaments. Up to 4.3 million in total earnings. I haven't asked this one today yet. I'm kind of curious. What are we drinking? What's the weather? And where are we watching from? I'm saying that as I got a little caffeine fix going in Las Vegas. Just picked up my Americano coffee. And it is so windy outside that I swear to you I can hear it from here.
Raise.
It's crazy. There's like a full-on sandstorm in Las Vegas.
It's outrageous.
It's crazy. We live in a fairly new neighborhood, and every time there's a wind warning or whatever, our yard is full of construction materials. They're just like blowing all over the place. It's ridiculous. All right, here's a look at GTO Wizard. Scan the QR code on your screen right now to use the #1 app for poker players. You can also check out gtowizard.com/PokerGo to start practicing for free with their incredibly powerful engine. And of course, if you sign up for their services, we get you a 10% discount through our link. So gtowizard.com/PokerGo.
Bothers me when I play a bunch of poker just from like being in this position.
Donnie Peters is probably their best ambassador as he uses it every single day.
Breaking all those chips, yeah.
Just met the GTO Wizard guys, I don't know, an hour ago. They're here in Vegas for the first time, checking things out. Great partnership we have with them. I would highly encourage you out there, if you are interested in really, advancing your game, check out GTO Wizard. As Remko said, try it for free. gtowizard.com/PokerGo.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of free tools that you can kind of get a feel for what they have to offer, and then if you do want to pick up one of their memberships, I would
There we
certainly
go.
encourage you to do
Ace.
so. I have one.
Whoa.
Jeff Platt over on the
we
PokerGo
can get
stream,
all
he's
by
got one
now.
as well.
Only I
I
got
know a lot of
two
people that
ladies.
use it. A lot of people in these events that play our events constantly looking at GTO Wizard on breaks, before and
Lady
after events,
Gaga.
that sort of stuff.
I need the 2 Lady Gaga. Okay. 2 Queen Diamonds.
Do they tell you what the maximum amount of time you could do in there is?
It just shuts off after like 5 minutes. I don't think they recommend more than 3.5. That's
Dan Smith and Cary Katz talking about cryotherapy, which they've talked about before. I think Dan Smith has done it. He's shared some of it on social media, and then Cary's gotten into it more recently. It's been a topic of conversation among them in several events.
It's always funny when you're in a room with these high rollers to listen what they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Smith raising it up with king 8 suited. This gets through. Picks up the blinds and antes.
I did like 13 minutes in my friend's cold plunge, just kind of see it. I was still shivering like 40 minutes afterwards. Like I wasn't that cold in it, and then when I got out, I like kept feeling colder as more time went on.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's definitely harder.
It's, yeah, way worse.
Yeah.
Not even close.
It's not really a plunge anymore if you're sitting there for 13 minutes. It's like a full-on soak.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're behind it.
I mean, that's insane. That's a really long time.
It's like on the brink of hypothermia, if you ask me.
I don't think I could ever sit in there for 13 minutes. I mean, that's seems wild.
Let's see what Chad has to say here. We got Arkansas in the house, Atlantic City, also some coffee. Norway in the house, Illinois. Venice, Italy, drinking a protein shake. Giallo, thank you so much for tuning in. We got Oregon in the house. We got Matt Bunk. He says, it's hot AF in Austin. I'm drinking a Mountain Dew Baja Blast from Taco Bell.
There you go.
Wow. We got Harris watching from Bosnia, 11:03 p.m., drinking rakia, moonshine. I think I know how to say cheers in like Serbia and Bosnia and whatever. My brain is just not working right now. Producer Aiden probably knows.
He's looking at me, but I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Don't look at the dumb American.
Živile. There it is. Živile. I remember that.
Bulgaria, 12 a.m.
I can speak a few words across the border. Danny Martin. Danny sounds very depressed. He says, water, snow, Canada.
Sounds very Canadian.
It does. As long as these hands stay as small pots, I'm just going to look at the chat the whole time.
Jeez.
Cameron, sweet tea in Atlanta, Georgia. Very fitting. Romano in the house from Cape Town. Got Jack's Beach, Florida. Tom Mitchell, thank you so much for tuning in. London Calling is watching from Chile, UK, having a whiskey. It also seems like a fitting combination. Labrador, -2 and iced tea. Oh man, I can't do the cold temps anymore. I'm much more into Joe Hirschman, Hawaii 82, Crown Royal and soda, and ahi poke. That sounds like a great afternoon. Action folds to Punsri, 10-8 suited on the button. He is sitting on 24 bigs. Looking over at Lin's stack potentially, who has 12 big blinds. Doesn't want to maybe risk it all, given the ICM implications here. Smith here with King 9 suited has him dominated suits-wise. Toby-san asking, does Ren Lin have his badge, no gamble, no future with him? Yes, he does. We saw him pull it out just a few minutes ago when he moved all in on back-to-back hands.
Yeah, it's actually right next to him on the table now.
There we go. Yeah, we're quickly approaching the 500-like mark. As everyone seemingly has hearts, there's not going to be any hearts left. But if hearts do come on the flop, we might see some fireworks. Flop comes. 9 3-deuce. As expected, no hearts available. Smith with top pair, king kicker, definitely finding himself in a nice position here to pick up some easy chips. Action is checked around. Turn card, the queen of diamonds. Smith's 9 gets a little stronger, but potentially slowing down the action just a little bit.
$115.
Smith just decide to bet this one, and seemingly this will work as nobody has anything. Punsri with a gut shot, but still has to think of some stack preservation perhaps. Punsri does lay it down, and Dan Smith picks up the pot. Daniel Sleeper says, energy drink, beer later when I get to play a little tournament tonight. Ooh. Bentonville, Arkansas. I love Bentonville. I went to Fayetteville last year for the Cyclocross World Championship. Now that won't mean a thing to anyone watching, but I was very impressed with the nature in Arkansas. A lot of woods, trails. Found some good breweries. And the funniest part is that that area is called NWA, Northwest Arkansas.
Oh, okay, okay.
But speaking of Daniel Sleeper, who's playing a little tournament tonight, what you got going on? Any action today? Maybe some weekend poker recap from how things went. I know, Donnie, you, by the way, we'll get back to this. You went to South Point. I want to hear all about your
How much?
Went yesterday?
Yeah.
1.1.
I've been to South Point a lot in the past couple days.
Punsri here raising it up to
1.4?
100K with tens. Ren Lin, ace king in the big blind.
No
No
future,
gamble,
Thailand #1.
no future.
Snap call is Pakistan.
Oh, snap call indeed.
Okay, my Lady Gaga, one time.
Good luck.
Good feeling, brother.
All right, chat. Let us know who you are rooting for. We got Ren Lin at risk.
Near King Gaga. King Gaga.
We got China
Depends
versus
on my luck,
Thailand.
Against that hand as well.
You got nothing, I got one.
Oh, Brian Kim, meanwhile,
Domination.
getting some calisthenics going in the background. Here comes the flop. Can Ren Lin survive? It is king, queen, queen. The King Gaga, as he called it himself, on his way to save Ren Lin's tournament life as Punsri is down to just 2 outs. Turn card. The 7 of diamonds doesn't change a thing. Still looking for one of the 2 remaining 10s in the deck, or Ren Lin will double up. Let's see the river card. It is the 6 of hearts.
Ooh, baby.
Yes, yeah.
Touchdown, my man.
Good job.
Touchdown for Ren Lin. Big sigh of relief there as he doubles up.
That's one short over there.
This is good for the vibe at the table. Nothing to disrespect Punnat Punsri, but Ren Lin has been entertaining, and he will continue to do so.
Lady, you look gorgeous. Good job.
Punsri down to 11 big blinds now. Not out of it yet, but certainly going to need to make some moves to get back into the thick of things.
I had a king.
Only play ace king, you know.
Oh, I had a king.
You can
got
just
king?
feel.
Yeah, king.
You can just feel how much he
Okay,
wants this.
Don't tell me.
I wouldn't tell you
No,
before.
okay. No, okay.
So, yeah.
See, my Lady Gaga, very lucky.
2 of them came.
Ah, okay, 10.
Good fold.
This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, easy.
Ren Lin has to be one of everyone's favorite players. I think Ren Lin is in love with this dealer. Things have been going well for him ever since they made the dealer change. All right, we hit 500 likes on the video. Exactly on the nose, 500 likes. If you want to enter the giveaway for a free annual sub to PokerGO, smash like right now. Make sure you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you cannot use the chat. And then I will think of a random question in the next minute or so. Pose that question to everyone in the chat. Actually folds around to Ren Lin, who also kicks it in.
Behind.
Potential
Behind that.
Behind
blind battle incoming.
All in.
Brian Kim applying maximum pressure with Queen-6 offsuit. Punsri can do nothing but lay down his 10-3.
Only have blue chips.
Trying to think of something funny for our giveaway question.
That's 40.
145.
1.45.
All right, my random question as we look at
Ah,
ace
so
10
question.
suited in the
Soon
small
to be
blinds. Potentially looking at a shove here. See what he does. All right, I guess we're taking some extra time.
You got a lot.
Huh?
You got 29 big ace back.
That's all right.
Punsri really taking his time here with just 9 big blinds. Do you think he's going to try to make it look weaker by taking all this time, Donnie?
Yeah, I don't really know what this is, to be honest. Seems like he's trying to maybe show a little bit of weakness. Could the clock be running that? I'm not really sure what's happening here.
Is he trying to skip the blinds or something?
I mean, there's only one table in play, this one, with 5 players at it. And I think he's going to shove this ultimately. I just really don't. There it is.
He does move all in. Dan Smith, of course, needs to find something to make the call with. 9-7 suited. I mean, looks good. It looks good to me, but of course, mathematically, not a calling hand. And Punsri indeed was stalling, taking as much time as possible before we went on break. All right, during the break, send in your favorite candy bar. Favorite candy bar in the chat. That's what I want to know for the giveaway. What's your favorite candy bar? When we come back, we'll pick a winner for the giveaway for a free annual PokerGo subscription, and then five-handed play will continue. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Favorite candy bar. Let's go.
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at GTOWizard.com.
As you said, basically burst onto the scene.
Both live and online. The guy is a total killer.
Another time extension used.
There were certainly holdings that Cary, we know, would mess around with, right? 3-4 suited, 5-6 suited, 6-7 suited of the spade varieties, of course. There are plenty. Queen 10 suited, another. The rest just being a better jack. Maybe a hand like Jack 8 suited having us in trouble, and of course, hands like kings and aces that we're trapping all along. There's
Does make the call, and here we go.
Jag 9?
King jack or jack 8?
Wow, I'm surprised that's such a hard call. Seems like an easy one.
Cary Katz in excellent shape to double up. For now, just needs to dodge a 9. Turn card. It is a queen, adding some outs that you see on the top of your screen. Smith looking for a 10, a queen, or a 9 to eliminate Katz. River is a 4, and Katz is up to 1.2 million.
You don't want to pay and go with queen?
One that he looks back on and reflects. Just an interesting story, too. Now living and residing in Sydney, Australia with his fiancée. Congratulations to them.
My first open. It's very exciting.
Doesn't play a ton of poker down in Australia, Jeff, but he does hang out with all of his hockey boys. Plays a ton of ice hockey,
Semi-pro for the Sydney Bears.
How much is that?
How much? That's 10.5. I mean, 1,050,000 below, and then 1,1. I got about 1.2.
Okay, thank you.
And you know, Kim was considering calling it quits with tournaments, right? Leading up to the most recent Triton series in March. It's been on a real big downer, and he rattled off a big score, 4th place for more than 300,000,
Yeah,
400,000,
$40,000.
and now he's back.
Had a
He's
3rd
hooked.
place finish
He's
there
hooked.
as well. Yeah. You can't quit tournaments less than a year after you finish 22nd in the main.
Well,
it's not allowed.
I don't know.
would not have let him.
I don't think you're quitting them altogether, but maybe you're not on the tournament grind.
Okay.
He's been traveling to all the stops, and obviously, as we know this, with tournaments comes a great deal of variance. And look at Hefe go.
After Punsri flops top pair on the 7-6-5. How will Punsri choose to navigate versus the bigger sizing on the flop?
Yeah, check call seems fine, right? We just saw Cary go to showdown with Jack 8 suited, so we know he's got plenty of these types of hands that could have connected with this texture.
Oh, queen on the turn.
Or we just bury the biscuits with a queen if you're Hefe.
Quite the start for Cary Katz. $520,000 in the pot, as you see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
Cary thinking, now what? We've made our hand. If we're getting trapped, we're getting trapped, but oftentimes we do put out a little, a little check back. Yeah.
Close enough. Tight of the runner.
Remaining under rep now.
He's at diamonds on the river.
I expected to see a little pot control bet sizing on the turn. Trying to capitalize and maximize value anytime you are up against the solo pair.
And maybe trying to set up a river jam via that turn bet.
Check.
Jack 7.
Huh?
Jack 7.
Goes check on the river as well.
Cary just content getting to showdown. Backdoor diamonds came home.
True.
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at GTOWizard.com.
Welcome back to the PokerGO studio. We are live with final table coverage of event number 9. It's a 25K no limit hold'em event. And we got 5 players still in the mix. It's anyone's game here. If you're just tuning in, blinds are up to 30K, 60K. With a 60K big blind ante. My name is Remko Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me. Jeff Platt, Brent Hanks on the call on PokerGo.com. And Natalie Bodie joining us today for some sideline action of the final 2 events as we get closer and closer to crowning our 2023 USPO champion. A 60-pound Gold Eagle trophy awaits the winner and a 50K cash bonus on top of that. Should be a good bit of fun here in the coming hour as the stacks are getting shorter. We're seeing some people spamming in the chat. We have a giveaway going on right now. I guess I should turn slow mode up a little bit longer because people are just losing their minds. All right, final round here. Send in your favorite candy bar to the chat. I will draw a winner after this hand. You guys have had all break to submit. Last chance here for a chance to win an annual subscription to PokerGo. Favorite candy bar. Let's go. Let's hear it. Meanwhile, Punsri all in. Ace-3 suited.
Yeah.
He gets a round of folds and picks up some much-needed blinds and antes. Blue Nose asks, what the
What'd you eat
comms
before play,
munchin'
Cary?
on? Well, Donnie just inhaled
So you ate
an
before you
entire
played, yeah?
breakfast
What'd you
plate.
eat?
Oh, yes.
What was on it?
Sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Eggs and potatoes.
Beautiful. I had a huge
not a-
slice of homemade banana bread. Shout out to Patrick Knight.
You basically had a loaf.
I had basically had 700 calories worth of banana bread. Patrick Knight, our head of customer
30
support,
before play.
and the man who runs our
Morning
shop,
kind of gets away from you pretty quick.
bakes a mean banana bread.
It's so good.
Easy, boss man.
That's pretty easy.
Wow. Thank you.
Great submissions here. Lots of fans of Snickers in the chat. I'm a Kit Kat guy myself.
Had the Brunson.
Huge Kit Kat guy.
He's got the Brunson hat, and I had the Brunson hand.
Kit Kat or Twix?
Yeah, but left or right Twix.
Oh, long time no see Balanza. You don't play?
Bellagio?
Oh, I don't.
It hadn't been a tournament there in a while.
All right, the winner of the giveaway for a free annual PokerGo subscription is David McElhinney. David McElhinney. McElhinney. I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation here, but congratulations.
Oh, Doyle?
He called Snickers. Snickers, of course,
89
great.
maybe?
McElhinney. Send an email to social@pokergo.com with a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube account, and we'll get in touch with you.
720.
700?
20.
Punsri all in here with Queen Jack off. Lin with the best hand in the small blind, but still, this is for a lot of his chips also. Lays it down. Action O'Brien came in the big blind. 10 deuce, not going to do it. And Punsri going to pick up some chips here. Shout out to all the jokesters in the chat. Dan Smith brought the world's largest water bottle.
I think that's the same one I have.
Wow. You guys are serious about your hydration.
Probably an iron flask, 40 ouncer.
Wow.
He's just got the different top. I have it home.
Damn. But yeah. What's the benefit of such a large water bottle?
I mean, just don't have to fill it up often.
Right. Katz raises with Queen 8 suited. Punsri in the big blind. He's our short stack.
10 seconds.
Punsri does defend here in the big blind. We get to see a Jack 10-10 flop. Both players with, of course, the gut shot. It's just a matter of who blinks first in this case. Punsri checks. Let's see if Katz is taking a stab. He doesn't. All right, we're going to see a river card. It is a 9. Both players make a straight. Punsri is going to think, oh, finally some chips for me. Little does he know. The best thing that might happen is Katz is going to fold, but I don't think that's likely given the size of the pot.
10 seconds.
240.
240.
Punsri leads. Katz, of course, now thinking, do I raise this for value? Katz using a time bank here. This action got checked all the way to the river. I mean, this hand must surely feel like the nuts for these players.
I'm all in.
Katz moves all in. Punsri, I mean, he can't get away from this, can he? Donnie, the board is paired. There's 3 hearts, but still. Your straight's just too strong here, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of stinks, but
Love Jack 4.
don't think you can fold.
He's gonna take his time to decide. It's a whole lot of thinking here. For us, of course, we know that it's gonna result in a chop if he does make the call. But hey, who knows? Maybe he thinks Katz is so strong that he's gonna find a way to toss it. And that, of course, would be the best case scenario for Cary Katz. Punsri lays it down. Wow.
No. I think that was another time extension.
Oh, sorry. I thought he threw his cards into the muck. Jeez. I think it's time for glasses. I think I need glasses. Sorry, guys. I thought I saw the cards.
All right, throw it on the blooper reel.
Punsri has not folded. He throws his cards. Oh, no, it's a card timing. Okay, now it's no longer funny. Punsri with a big decision here. If he folds this, he's going to be left with very few chips. Less than 10 big blinds.
Full houses beat him. Flush beats him.
Oh boy.
There is a better straight out there. He does block it, but there is still a better straight out there with the king-queen. So.
All right, and now he does ultimately lay it down. Cary Katz doesn't show. Donnie, do you think this is a big misstep?
I mean, we can see the card, so yes. I mean, you know. That's one where I think Katz's image, his image to the other players, you know, the perception that they have of him certainly paid off in his favor. He's able to push his opponent off the same hand. Instead of collecting 50% of the pot, he collects 100% of the pot, leaving Punnat Punsri with just 7 big blinds. So, pretty dire situation now for Punsri after bet folding that river. He's really going to need to make something happen now.
Stacks still extremely tight. Dan Smith, our chip leader, but only a few big blinds separating him from Katz and Kim, and Lin sitting on 19 bigs, maybe falling a little bit behind. But everyone now eyeing Punsri. I know the joke has been all week that ICM is for poor people, but it is pretty evident that these guys are both not poor and also paying attention to ICM. Ace queen off here for Lin. Kim folds, Punsri folds. Action on Dan Smith, folds. Looks as though some easy money here for Ren Lin. Ren Lin has 2 PGT wins under his belt. He's one of our favorites here inside the studio.
How much is it?
425.
Ace
425.
Yep.
Ooh, Dan Smith with a pair of 5s. We know that small pocket pairs don't play extremely well in these all-in situations, but this might be a spot where Dan Smith will go for it up against just 7 big blinds. Smith makes the call, not committing his entire stack, just in case one of the players in the blinds wakes up with some real bad news for him. Both blinds fold, and we got an all-in showdown here. Punnat Punsri at risk with ace-4 off. Dan Smith with the best possible small pair. Pocket 5, of course, making sure that Punsri's 4 does not immediately come into play. Let's see if Punsri can find himself a double up. Flop comes. Ooh, ace 8-10. It looks as though 5-handed play will continue as Dan Smith only has 2 outs to send Punsri to the rail. Turn card, 8 of spades. That does not help Smith. A 5 and a 5 only will send Punsri to the rail, or else 5-handed play will continue.
Magical rock's bullshit.
River card. It is the Jack of Hearts and the Magical Rock seemingly not working for Dan Smith. Punnat Punsri with a double up to 1,000,000 chips. Are you guys at home superstitious? Do you have a lucky card protector? Do you have something in your pocket that brings you good luck? I think Dan Smith's about to toss that little rock across the studio. Punsri back in the mix. Still the short stack, though, with 16 bigs. And picks up 9s right away.
155. Or something very close. Not actually.
Close enough. 1545. I mean, 5K off.
10 seconds.
Dean C with a great reference. He says
That's
he's not
125.
superstitious, just a little stitious. Ghost to me says he has my credit card. That's his lucky charm. Katz folding King Jack offsuit to Punsri.
Probably 900, man.
Fresh off of the double up here, raising right away. Brian Kim with ace-8 off, only having to put in one extra big blind. Might see a flop here. Brian Kim does defend. Jack 310 rolls off the deck. Punsri facing 2 overcards here for his 9s, but not the absolute worst flop. Kim, however, does not make a pair. Donnie, in a spot like this against a player from the big blind defending, are you likely to continue here even though you don't have the biggest possible pair?
I think you can go either way here. I don't think it's the worst thing to check back with this specific hand, 9s on Jack 10-3. Also think you could bet it like we see Punsri do, and he takes it down.
No.
Having 2 9s in your hand, you do block some combos of
fantastic
Jacks and 10s.
I had the chance to talk with Cary Katz during the break. He let me in on a prop bet that he has with Daniel Negreanu. They bet $100,000 on who would have the most points on the PGT leaderboard by the end of the year. And he also let me know he had no idea that he was tied for the most cashes all time at the USPO with 15, along with Steven Chidwick. He said he had no clue, but now it's time to win one.
Thank you, Natalie. Of course, great to have Natalie Bodie with us here for the final 2 events at the USPO. I'm sure we'll see more sideline reports coming up. Which side do you like in that prop bet, though? Katz, who is known as a dedicated grinder, never seems to let in, always shows up to play, or
155.
Mr. Daniel Negreanu on whoever gets the most PGT points. Donnie, I think it's closer than we think.
I mean, Katz is leading right now for points, but Negreanu has more cashes. They're probably going to put in the same amount of volume. I think I'd lean Daniel just because the gap in skill in some of the mixed games, the PLO, might be a little bit greater. Obviously, we had our PGT mixed games and PGT PLO series. There's a lot of stuff at the WSOP coming up that's going to play in Daniel's favor. And then if we do happen to run back those mixed games and PLO series again later on in the year, I think it might be able to give a leg up to to Daniel.
Action here on Punsri in the big blind. 19 bigs, ace-jack off, facing a raise and a call. Donnie, is this what they call a spot?
I mean, this is a spot. I can honestly see Punsri kind of going both ways in terms of just calling, playing his hand a little bit slow. I think you do have to respect Dan Smith raising from under the gun. I know they are 5-handed, but still, under the gun is the strongest position at the table to come in with the raise. Or this way, the 3-bet.
You put it up before you started. Do you know how much you have, Cary?
Dan Smith goes into business mode, immediately trying to figure out what's at stake here.
I don't know.
Stacks are super tight between
So
Katz
that's $1 million?
and
That's
Smith.
1, 3, 4.
You have
150 behind.
You have 150 behind.
Yeah.
1,485 plus that, so I'll make like at 1.6.
Thank you.
Cary Katz
About the,
has
about the same.
Smith covered by a few thousand.
And the bet's $1 million.
The bet is $1 million. Punsri has a little behind.
I think Smith probably has just too good of a hand here to get away from.
Does take his time, very deliberate. Lots of money on the line here.
He also has to worry about Katz behind him. Smith is dominating a lot of good holdings from Punsri.
All in.
There it is.
Dan Smith moves all in. Cary Katz seemingly with a
What's he
quick
have?
fold.
He has ace jack. I've got
And we
ace
have
queen.
ace queen versus
All right, give me my
ace
hand
jack.
back.
Dan Smith well ahead here.
Nines.
And his second chance to send Punsri to the rail. They clashed
I was
only a
calling the
few
music,
hands
of course.
ago. Punsri got lucky. Can he do it again? This is practically also for Dan Smith's tournament life. If he loses this hand,
It is
he's gonna
scary
be
when I
left
flat,
with
huh?
crumbs. Flop comes. Oh, there it is. Queen 8-6. Dan Smith takes a commanding lead in this hand. This is trouble for Punsri, who doesn't even have a heart. Looking for running hearts here to stay alive. Just 3% equity, or will be down to the final 4. Turn card
Uh-oh.
is the 9
was me.
of hearts, giving him 3 outs.
Heard Cary Katz go, that's me.
That's
Holding the 2 nines.
Exactly right. Punnat Punsri on his way to being eliminated. And there it is. A jack on the river. Punnat Punsri eliminated in 5th place, taking home
tough.
$94,000.
Today, huh?
Impressive
have to get
showing
him.
by him. Ultimately,
I was calling if
not
calling
as
if he
good.
didn't. I had
Good
nines.
luck. Good luck.
Cary Katz was waiting in the wings
Done,
there
done. Super done.
to make the call, but didn't have
You got
to
all your money back with interest.
risk his
Yeah.
chips.
Him at least. No, not really.
2 all ins.
Yeah, that's true. It was double.
Dan Smith now with a commanding lead, Donnie. 2.9 million, well ahead of the rest of the players.
Yeah, finally some separation
Yeah.
in the chip counts.
Cowboy Dan and the big stack now.
Cary Katz making it to the final 4, at least as of right now, is atop the
Oh,
overall
okay,
PGT
yes, right.
leaderboard for 2023.
That is quite impressive. We are into April. Still plenty of events left to go, but seemingly Katz
it's on me.
shoe-in
Oh, sorry.
to make the top 40 with his eyes on playing in that $1 million free roll at the end of the year. Jack 10 suited here for Katz.
You have 1.485. Carry, right?
120.
Yeah, something like that. I have one. Yeah.
Katz limps.
Did you?
What's going on here? Can you pause my clock? What's the action?
He went out a turn and I limped.
Oh, you guys
Okay.
did it at the same time.
Hang
So what
on.
do
So
I do? So, are you the big blind? Or?
No. It just he's not. There's no small blind. It gets confusing. Oh, yeah.
He called and then you
So
raised.
you link?
I limped, so you should. I think he should. I don't know. We should ask Paul.
Hold on.
All right, let's get a ruling on this.
So what do I do?
There is a single
I
big
wanna ask
blind in
Paul.
this pot with Punsri's elimination on the last hand. so
Basically, he was it simultaneous or I don't know. I think
It was almost exact. You tell me what happened. It was big blind. He thought he was the big blind.
Here we
He
go to
threw
instant
60
replay.
Out, and I think
Oh,
he
wow.
thought he was
This
the
is-
big blind
I mean,
as well.
that's a simultaneous.
No, I
That
didn't
is
think I was the big blind.
simultaneous.
Just lumping.
Shout out to the crew in the back for the replay.
Oh, the first
There
time I
was
thought it
a
was a big
point he
blind.
throws out his cards, and then he takes it back, and then he limps.
I told him
Yeah.
he's not the big blind, and he still thought he was the big blind. So he went to limp, but he went to raise almost simultaneously at the same time.
He basically min rates my limp.
So they want to know if he should get his action back because he thought he was.
All right. Tony, you have all your options available.
Okay.
Because of the confusion, you have all. I'm not holding it to you. You have all options available.
Okay, okay. All right.
Fold, call, or a different raise size. You have all your options available.
Very clear here.
Seems like a fair ruling in this situation. Yeah.
Really, that one surprised me. I was not expecting that.
Very clear there
You were
from Paul Campbell,
excited to play.
the man in charge here of all the tournaments. Lin decides to pull back the chips, toss his cards into the muck.
Also, Paul Campbell has a very good relationship, knows all these players very well, so likely understands the situation, having seen Ren Lin a lot, that he's likely not trying to pull some sort of angle here.
Right. That is important that you mentioned that. The experience
240.
that people have
245.
with the players comes into play with situations like this. Meanwhile, Smith finds pocket queens. And Cary Katz,
He's rich enough never to fold
Out-
Jack 10 suited.
I mean,
that's the rule.
after limping, now makes the call with Jack 10 suited. Of course, one of the best non-pair hands. Lots of options here, but not on this flop. Not even a single spade out there. It is interesting, though. Dan Smith, the one raising the concern with the tournament staff. I don't think if Dan Smith hadn't said a thing, I think the action would have just stayed
It just
the way that it
stands,
was.
right?
Yeah, it just stands.
It's the Dan.
Yeah. If Dan puts in a raise and doesn't call
I
over
hadn't
Paul
looked at
Campbell, then I think Ren Lin's chips stay in the middle.
Yeah, I
there.
mean,
Like,
at
I
that
hadn't
point,
looked
there
for
would be
the
too many
position.
actions.
Yeah.
It would have to stay.
Smith picks up this pot. Cary Katz
That's him.
surrenders a few chips.
That button.
After all this candy bar talk, I'm going to drive home, get
Didn't
gas,
even fold it.
and buy myself
He's
a
gonna
Twix
raise.
and a Kit Kat. And you know I'm not lying.
I know.
I just gone all in. Say anything.
Donnie, Brian Kim has been more of a feature in recent times in big tournaments, but of course we saw also a mention of this in the chat earlier, mostly known as a cash game player. Is Brian Kim turning into a tournament grinder, or is it still sort of like a side gig for him?
I think it's become much more of the
Professional.
regular gig
not even gonna look.
than the side gig. You know, it obviously depends on how things go on the tournament scene. He was going through a stretch kind of to start this year where he was on the losing end of things, and any of us who have played tournaments, we all know how that variance can, you know, get to us, and you can go long periods of time without really cashing anything. He had a decent series over in Vietnam playing on the Triton Poker Series, his first time playing the Triton stuff, which kind of allowed him to sort of get back into these tournament streets, or at least stay in the tournament streets. He did have a little stopover in Macau, though, for some cash games on his way back, but, you know, I think he's fully got the tournament bug, as many people do once you start playing tournaments.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than going deep in a live tournament, but let me actually take that back. It is better if you pick up pocket kings.
Well, of course. Especially after you pick up pocket queens. You know, it's like
Most free media. Okay, it's good. Good.
Dan Smith having a ball today
Okay,
so
I'm
far.
looking for double up, so call.
Ren Lin going to defend here from the big blind.
could be in a lot of trouble on this flop, depending on what comes.
Yeah, Dan Smith on a tear so far this final table, slowly extending his lead here as he finds the only ace-high flop that is not too painful, given the fact that he has the king of spades to go along with it.
Yeah, not much here for Ren Lin to work with, so this will likely be done pretty quickly. Also won't get Ren Lin in trouble. You know, queen high flop, we know probably would have gotten him in a lot of trouble, 8 high flop, stuff like that.
Jeffrey asking in the chat, where's the frying pan? Am I late? No, it's on a different channel. That's on the tennis channel.
75,000.
Dan Smith, I believe, made a wager with Marcus Gonzalez that he could beat him playing tennis if Marcus used a frying pan. I saw some of the footage. Dan has a lot of work to do.
But they're going to, Marcus crushed him, and they're going to run it back.
They're going to run it back, yeah.
That's too much, Dan.
Dan Smith, all business at this final table. I remember when Dan Smith was the cheery, chipper jokester at the poker table. He seems to be very much locked in and focused, bringing a different kind of energy. There's, of course, serious money on the line here, but it is fun
Nothing
to
much
see.
you could do about that last hand, but how has your tournament experience been so far here in general?
Oh yeah, I always enjoy playing here. I think it's one of the best venues I've played in. The experience so far, I didn't play the earlier series, had some things to do early on, but yeah, since then I've been playing, I think I played 4 events. Yeah, it's been great, good service, good ambience as usual, good players, and yeah, having fun.
You're #1 on the all-time money list in Thailand. Can you give our audience some insight onto what poker is like back home?
I think poker in Thailand is obviously booming. We have more players traveling abroad in Asia to play in the Asian stops, learning. I think there's more online access to like GG and Natural 8 where people could learn and try to practice the skills. Yeah, it's good. I think like Asia, poker in Asia in general has been booming over the last 2 years, especially after COVID, where I think people were playing a lot online or had nothing much to do, so they were doing that. So after the pandemic ended, I think there's a lot more players traveling to play now, which is nice. Yeah.
We're so glad that you could join us, Punnat. Thank you. Jeff?
Thank you, Natalie. And as she throws it back to Jeff Platt, please know that Jeff Platt and Brent Hanks are on the call on PokerGo.com. Donnie and I here with the B team on YouTube, having some fun with you guys in the chat.
I'll show you the bad one.
I went to set up earlier the other night, Donnie.
How was it?
So what's the other one?
So
That's
good.
bad one.
How many pizzas?
Bad one.
I had one pizza, and we had the bruschetta, and we had the involtini. Beautiful stuff here. Here's a look at the 2023 PGT leaderboard. Sam Soverel, by the way, with his recent success at the USPO, now in second place, bumping Cary Katz down a spot, but we all know that he still has to collect the points that he's going to get from this event, and that, as Donnie mentioned, is going to vault him towards the top of the standings. Haxton in fourth, Foxton in fifth, and it's a who's who of the international poker circuit. If you go and check the standings on PGT.com, we have a tab with all the standings, and the entire top 40 will automatically qualify for our PGT Championship, which is a $1 million free roll with a $500K first prize.
Yeah, Cary Katz is guaranteed 78 points for making the final four here, so that's going to be enough once he does finish to move in front of Lautaro Guerrera at the top of the leaderboard.
What would you like?
I think Ren Lin can move to first place with a win, though, so it'll still some implications on how this could shake out to affect the overall standing.
Toby-san asking me that I should make more run it back shows for our YouTube channel. I'm working on a little something special. Just before WSOP kicks off, we're planning to do some fun feature events to promote the World Series of Poker, and I think Run It Back is going to be playing a part there. So if you like the format, please tag along.
22 bigs.
Thank you. $170.
Dan Smith applying pressure on Cary Katz with the weak 8-3 suited, but hey, if you only have one opponent, you might as well take a little stab there. Shout out, by the way, to Punnat Punsri. Never fun to do a bust-out interview, but it was interesting to hear from him that poker in Thailand and Asia as a whole is booming ever since the pandemic subsided. And having not been to Asia in quite a while to cover a poker event, I would love to go back and see what has changed over the years. Donnie and I both were frequent visitors of Macau, covered quite a few events there. And also been to lots of events in Asia, and always had so much fun covering those events and seeing from that region show up for their local events.
Started with 1.2.
Thank you.
Kim raising it up. Ace-10 suited. Smith with fours on the button. Smith makes the call. Appealing, Donnie. Ace-deuce suited to call here from the small blind.
I mean, if he's playing hands like, what did he have earlier? He had the Jack-8 at one time. I think he had a Queen-8 or something like that as well from the small blind. So if he's going to be willing to play those hands out of the small blind, I think an Ace-2 suited, certainly something to come out of the small blind. Interesting spot here for Ren Lin. Short stack, started this hand with 16 big blinds. So his stack is 15 bigs after paying the big blind ante. King Jack of clubs.
Started with 1.28.
1.2, right?
Ren Lin might want to put it in here.
Wow. What a spot here.
Looks like it's
No
going
gamble. No future. Let's
There we
go.
go.
All right. Ren Lin all in, and he looks excited. This is the perfect spot to get your money in. King Jack suited is also nice to have. He might get 3 folds here, Donnie. I think
these players have just a notch below of like all the hands that they can call with, so I think he's going to get it through, but it might take a little bit, each player thinking. I mean, Brian Kim, we saw just folded there, but give it a thought for 5 to 10 seconds. Dan Smith now getting an official count on the shove.
If Lin gets this through, that'd be an amazing pickup without showdown.
Sad face? Is that,
yeah.
does that mean you don't want to call?
I was gonna say that's a sad-looking Dan Smith there. He does lay it down.
Nice hand.
Oh, dangerous.
Like a double up. Almost.
Might as well be. I mean, wow. Gained 360K. It's a nice boost.
Ren Lin all of a sudden second in chips, Donnie.
I know.
Without showdown. Here we go.
How can you not love Ren Lin? I mean, come on. This is great.
This has been a lot of fun to watch his antics at this final table.
$120,000.
Still 4 players in the mix here, but Dan Smith definitely in a commanding chip position here to
30, right?
pick apart these smaller stacks and get himself into a favorable heads-up situation. He might take a few showdowns, but he's definitely a huge favorite right now. People in the chat are referencing the fact that in Thailand it is apparently illegal to own more than 120 playing cards. That seems like a very weird law, but since
So like 2 decks of cards?
2 decks of cards, that's that's 104. That's the limit.
And then like what? The spades from the other day?
Yeah.
On
Queen 10 off
35?
here for Lin on the button. Quite a few Dan Smith haters in the chat.
Everyone hating, man.
Yeah, a lot of hating going on.
I don't know how you can hate on Dan Smith. I mean, maybe hate his playing style because it is so deliberate, but I mean, Dan Smith's not that guy. Gives a lot back to charity. Double up drive, you see it there on his chest with that patch every single year. Doing great things in the charity streets.
All in.
Oh, wow. Dan Smith fighting back versus Ren Lin, trying to reclaim some of that money he just gave him. Ren Lin going through the motions here. Of course, not going to call for his tournament life with Queen 10 offsuit. We all know that.
Wow, dandan, huh? Okay. Ace deuce.
No time for small talk for Dan Smith. All business. Oh, look at this little Ren Lin replay action. Oh, wow. Little ninja chop towards Dan Smith. Perhaps sending some bad juju his way. Oh, and then, of course, on the very next hand, he picks up ace-king offsuit. Could not be more perfect, the timing on this. Ren Lin raising under the gun. Action folds to Cary Katz with 7-6 suited in the big blind. That's a real hand. That is a real hand.
Good call.
Makes the call. All right, we got ace-king versus 7-6.
Check. Friendly.
King, Jack, Jack rolls off the deck. 2 hearts out there. Lin with top pair, top kicker. Cary Katz with a flush draw. This could get interesting. Small bet to start it off from Ren Lin and a quick call from Cary Katz. Ren Lin suggesting he's in trouble. 3 of spades on the turn. Katz checks again. Lin charging a little more, looks like 175,000 perhaps. Only 150 actually. Small bets from Lin. Not really denying equity. Donnie, would you prefer to see him size it up a little bit here?
Might be tricky to size it up here because of the paired board with the jacks out there. But you do want to deny some equity for obvious hands like flush draws like Cary has.
9 of clubs on the river completes the win for Ren Lin. Cary Katz can only win if he bluffs.
We've seen Cary take some stabs earlier at this final table. We'll see if he does it here.
It's always frustrating when your only way to win is to risk losing more. If you're just joining us, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Great turnout again today on YouTube. Much appreciated.
Seems like Cary wants to bluff at this.
Yeah.
Thinking this long, you know, it just cannot. Can he pull the trigger? And how much is going to get it done? I mean, his stack is sized that he could jam.
That would be an incredible bluff.
Cary normally plays pretty fast.
440.
440. Wow.
So I wonder if this is going to give anything off to Ren Lin.
Big bluff from Cary Katz.
Really? Almost flush draw.
Or missed flush draw. Ren Lin calls it immediately.
Ren Lin obviously worried about a jack.
What do you have, a
Queen
king?
10 also got there.
Yeah. Miss flush or Queen 10. Jack, no way.
Sounds like Ren Lin's ruling out a jack.
Wow. Okay, I believe you got Queen 10. Show one Lady Gaga.
Wow.
He can't show one Lady Gaga.
Bluff.
I'd show you a bluff.
Oh, wow. Ren Lin with a quick laydown. He burned so many time bank chips earlier in this final table. Now he lays it down right away, even though Cary Katz had absolute nothing. 7 high, missed flush draw, but it works. Cary Katz up to 26 big blinds. Ren Lin now back down to 13 bigs. Donnie, that was a shocking fold.
That was. I mean, I wonder if all those time banks being used earlier really came back to bite Ren Lin there because he didn't think about it too long. He just kind of gave Cary credit for the Queen 10. He mentioned a missed flush draw, but then he just sided with the Queen 10 and just gave it to him.
Wow. Blinds up to 40K, 80K with the 80K big blind ante. The stacks are getting even shorter. Lin now on 10 bigs. Things are not looking good for him, but things are looking even better for Dan Smith.
I thought it was really interesting, though.
I don't know.
95% of the time we watch Cary Katz play, he acts pretty quickly overall.
Yep.
There he thought for a while before betting. So
my Lady Gaga coming. You
did
got
Ren Lin just not pick up
weapon.
on that? Is he not paying attention to that sort of thing? I don't know, but it did seem out of character for Cary to think for almost 30 seconds and then bet.
The good thing for Ren Lin is that his favorite dealer is back.
Just make it tense.
Smith with 9s. He's going to come in for a raise.
That's 1, 2, 1, 5. It's like a little over 1, 5.
Yeah, 160. 160. This is point.
Okay. Open up. Okay.
Cary Katz
I think maybe
lays it down here.
Miss flush draw. Yes or no?
I would go all in if I had a missed flush draw. I'd put extra pressure on.
That makes sense.
Dan Smith quietly grinding, picking up the chips, putting himself in a great situation to get at least down to heads-up play.
Yeah, he's got 54% of the chips in play right now.
People in the chat are mind blown at this fold.
I mean, it's easy to be mind blown when we see the cards. You know, we're not there playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The timing thing just stuck out to me like right away. I mean, that was the one thing. But you know, also the timing thing that you pointed out was the time extensions that Ren Lin didn't have because he burned through them earlier at the final table.
The Smith train keeps on rolling as he also keeps picking up cards. Brian Kim here in a tough spot. Ace-9 of spades definitely playable.
Playable, but maybe not a hand that he wants to shove with. Certainly not a hand that he's going to fold either.
Off a 12 big blind stack. We know that these guys are still capable of seeing flops.
Thank you.
4-3-10 on the flop here. Nothing out there for Brian Kim. I'm still thinking of this. Big bluff with Cary right. That was very impressive stuff. Potentially also
watching stream.
Made because he had a lot of history with Ren Lin. These guys play together all the time in the studio. Smith checks behind with ace queen high.
Guilty now.
Turn card 6. If you're Brian Kim and you're this short, just trying to peel to hit something, do you just automatically just give up, or are there still ways in which you can, you know, decide to take a stab off your small stack?
I don't think you really want to stab with ace high and a decent ace high at that. I mean, I think you have enough showdown value here. Just try and get to that showdown as cheaply as possible. Check, check.
We could see a very cheap showdown here as Dan Smith has the best of it here with ace queen high.
Check.
Ace queen is going to play.
Wow.
And Brian Kim getting a little shorter. Dan Smith getting a little richer.
Damn it, man. There you go, I'll move it.
Dan dangerous.
Dangerous Dan?
Yeah.
Dangerous Dan. Oh.
Danger Dan.
I don't know. I think he prefers Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Here's a look in the background of that small Gold Eagle trophy that awaits the winner of this event. During heads-up play, we'll see that trophy on the table.
Next time.
One of the best trophies in poker.
Very dangerous.
Wow.
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 Smith gets a walk with ace king. I mean, he is getting cards today.
down there.
Did he look though? When I get walked, I don't look.
He showed.
Oh, he showed.
Dan Smith, the commanding chip leader right now. Here's a look at those chip counts presented by Global Poker. Ren Lin and Brian Kim both in desperate need of a double up. Cary Katz comfortably in second place with 19 big blinds. But Dan Smith, wow, can anyone stop him? If you had to make a bet right now, would you take Dan Smith or the field? Let us know in the chat. Dan Smith with 60% of the chips in play. Dan Smith or the field, who you want, what side are you on as Ren Lin finds ace-king offsuit?
Taking Dan Smith.
Versus the field, yeah.
Okay,
He just seems like he's just locked in.
I have to take the field because I think Ren Lin still has a chance. Looking down at ace-king here.
Well, unless I call, then I want to win.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Dan. No gamble, no future.
6-10.
Dan Smith.
Here we go.
Not with the snap call?
I think he's just
Because
Bluff,
of
bluff.
Cary.
There's a carry behind him. Going to see if he, does he
That's
want to
not his
raise?
folding
Does he want to
place.
just call here? How's he going to play this one? If he does raise, is it, I'm going to
All
just
in.
click it. I'm going to
yeah.
go all in like he does
He
here.
does move all in over the top. Cary Katz, 9-7 off.
All right.
A little pump
Come
fake
on,
here.
Anna.
Wow. Big hands. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Ren Lin.
Really? So how much you allow me?
Ren Lin's favorite dealer.
King Gaga.
He said it earlier.
Ace King needs to hit.
4 queens?
No, King Gaga.
No, 4 queens. You.
My favorite card.
No, you still lose. Yeah, 4 queens you win.
You know who Brian Kim's rooting for?
You need 4 gagas.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
King Gaga.
Here comes the flop. 10, 6, 7.
About space?
Spade gaga.
Spades.
Queen is good.
Queen of
Ace or
spades?
king. Queen
Yeah.
would be good too. Even a jack would not have him drawing dead. Turn card. It is the king of clubs. And Ren Lin all of a sudden turns the tables on Dan Smith, who's now down to just 2 outs. It's been a roller coaster today. Can Ren Lin double up? River card, a 7 of hearts.
Lately, I love you so much. Hoo-hoo. Super down. Oh. My dealer can't lose. Can't lose.
Nice hand.
Ooh, ooh.
Ren Lin cannot lose with this
Minimal
deal.
ace king yourself? No ace king, no play.
As always, excitable.
Ren Lin up to 17 big blinds now. Pretty much tied with Cary
Hey.
Katz. Brian Kim slips to the bottom of the leaderboard, 9 big blinds.
Down. Lately here, you're no good.
A little hit to Dan Smith, but he's still doing well at the top of the leaderboard. 3.6 million, 44 big blinds in Dan Smith's stack.
Ace Jack suited for Brian Kim. Best case scenario here for the shortest stack at the table right now. The gap between him and the rest is pretty big.
There it goes, into the middle.
It's like 700, yeah.
Queen 10 suited for Dan Smith.
more.
9 big blinds is the shove. Smith lays it down.
735.
735? Oh my Lady Gaga. Wow, typo.
Oh yeah, super tight, Ren.
Very tight fold there, especially given the fact that this is his lucky dealer.
Make all-ins look so easy. Seriously.
Ren Lin gives it up. Brian Kim gets to pick up a few
You don't want
chips
me
here.
call.
Yeah, I did.
Glad.
Here's a look at some more Ren Lin faces.
You gotta love him.
This man has more facial expressions in an hour than Dan Smith has in a week, so it seems. Let's see if he can make it further in this tournament after a double up just now with Ace King versus the Jacks of Dan Smith. There's some kung fu, some samurai, some chop, chop, chop going on. It's been fantastic to watch China's #1 poker player in the mix here at the final table. And as it stands right now, he's got a pretty decent chance. Meanwhile, Brian Kim picked up the blinds and antes, still the short stack. He's now in the big blind. Smith raises it up.
Yeah, if this is your first time experiencing Ren Lin, I mean, you're in for a treat. Plays a ton of our events here at the studio. Plays a lot of stuff every year at the World Series of Poker, so I'll be
ICM
happily introduced
pool
to him
people.
as he
All in.
goes all in.
Oh,
his,
wow.
His patented move with the no gamble, no future patch, when he puts that in the middle, that means the chips are also in the middle.
1.2 million.
Go for.
Dan Smith lays it
Minimal
down.
Lady Gaga. Oh.
Minimal Lady Gaga, he said.
He's feeling it.
Ren Lin is feeling it.
Oh, wait, sorry, give me that back.
I forgot to pay attention to the chat when I asked Dan Smith versus the field. And speaking of the field, here's the field in the event number 10, 50K no limit hold'em. I spot Jason Kuhn in the mix.
About time he showed up.
Sam Soverel leading the USPO right now. Playing the 50K.
Looks like they're up to 21 entries right now. You mentioned Jason Kuhn. We obviously see Sam Soverel. We see those USPO standings. Daniel Negreanu's out there.
Joey Wiseman playing his first ever 50K today.
I saw him tweeting about it, how he was selling action on PokerStake for it. Isaac Haxton's out there, Justin Bonomo, Sean Winter, Alex Fox, and Bill Klein, David Peters, Jonathan Little, Masashi Oya. You guys can check out the updates on pgt.com. Just hit the live reporting button. We'll be following that one all day long until we get to a final table. Come back tomorrow. Remko and I will be back on the stream. Jeff Platt, Brent Hanks over on PokerGo.com. It's going to be a pretty tight race, I think, overall for the USPO Championship, huh?
Oh, it's
16
see,
days.
okay. In the beginning, when we first started doing the USPO, I was fairly critical internally, saying there's too many points for the final event. You know, everyone can still win. But now I've completely flipped on this. I want to have that big sweat at the final table. And the 50K tomorrow, of course, some players will be out of the race because they haven't cashed in prior events. But as long as you cash at least one event, and min cash might not even be enough, you're going to have a shot in the 50K, which, of course, invites players that have done well in the early events to play in the 50K, as evident by Joey Wiseman, who is a decade-plus long poker professional playing his first 50K today inside the PokerGo studio.
And the points have gone through some iterations, some upgrades over the years to make sure that it wasn't just, win the last event, win the whole thing.
Meanwhile, Stan Smith all in with King Jack suited. Cary Katz, King Queen suited, makes the call. This is massive. This is huge. Cary Katz.
God, I had a premonition I was going to get King
potentially
Queen
on his way to the chip lead.
That's so weird.
Mention of a premonition here. Smith looking for clubs or a jack or some kind of straight. Cary Katz in a great situation here to double up.
Huge spot here for Cary Katz.
Flop, let's see it.
Jack of hearts.
8-8-4, one club. Cary Katz, 66% to win this thing.
Not greedy.
Cary Katz.
Chop it is.
He'll take a chop. Of course, a paired board would chop this thing. Deuce of clubs on the turn, opening up some options for Dan Smith. Now 12 outs.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Before Cary.
This is not what Cary wants to see.
I'm pretty dangerous here.
Dangerous Dan. Can he do it?
Yeah, until I take a chop. At this point, I definitely would.
River card. Oh my God! It's the ace of clubs.
All right. Yeah, good guy.
Oh my God! Running clubs for Dan Smith to send Cary Katz to the rail in fourth place.
It's back to Dirty Dan.
Back to Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan does it to Cary. Katz takes home 129K.
Super time.
Big pay jump and points jump for both Brian Kim and Ren Lin, as Katz can do nothing but eye roll at this brutal run out.
Oh, very dangerous.
Donnie, Dan Smith versus the field. Who you got?
I told you I had Dan Smith. It just feels like his day. He had the chips. We obviously know he's good enough. And when you're getting runouts like that, I mean, how are you going to beat this guy?
Complain about not winning all ins, and then you just win 3 in a row. I keep saying I need to try this, but I haven't tried it yet.
I mean, you kind of are now.
I haven't been all in yet, so I can't, but it's a good strat.
Thank you. It's not my first rodeo.
Am I?
Says the guy in the cowboy hat.
Brian Smith. Brian Smith. Wow, look at me blending these players together. Brian Kim pointing out that Dan Smith's been complaining about losing all ins.
Darren says this is a magical rock that you can infuse with powers.
Well, earlier you said the magical rock didn't work.
Yeah, I guess you don't know how to use it.
Dan Smith did a Control-Alt-Delete restart on the Magic Rock, and all of a sudden it starts coming through. As Brian Kim finds ace-4 spades, he only has 9 big blinds, moves all in. Dan Smith 10-3 off. That's not going to be the one. Goes into the mug. Let's see what Ren Lin finds.
How much should it be?
6-3 of hearts. I doubt that's going to happen. Dale asking, why have there been no women playing these events? We have.
Yeah, Kristen Fox made a final table.
Yep, it's what's her name?
Stephanie Chung.
Yeah, did she play as well?
I don't think she played any. She
I
played a lot of the
my favorite hand, my
series,
man. Shoot.
Not no limit stuff.
Shoot and natural 9. Okay.
But Kristen Fox
How much
has
was it?
certainly been in the mix.
725?
Yep, made one final table.
738,
So 935.
And sorry, you have like 1.2 over there?
I think it's like a 1 point. No. 1 point, almost 1.4.
Okay.
Yes. So if you let me double up, so be 3 million.
I see.
You got it, Billy. Cherish
So,
Andrews also played
yeah,
a bunch
really
of the earlier
dangerous
events.
too, you know.
Good point.
I understand the predicament.
You're my
I will
friend,
tread
that you know.
accordingly.
Action on Ren Lin in the small blind.
Okay, how much you got?
Total?
Yes.
810?
735 plus 80. So 815, I believe.
815.
815?
Ren Lin down to only 2 time bank chips.
Call.
Decides to limp here on Brian Kim's big blind. Digital Warfare Records making a good point. Why aren't there more chat pros in this tournament?
Good question.
Yeah, we should do a chat pro invitational. Brian Kim, 7-6 off in the big blind.
1.3. Thank you.
How many times these guys going to ask each other how much
Yeah.
chips they have? It's every hand.
How much you got? How much you got?
That's one of the things I like when I play. It's probably the same for you, is that because we have so much experience through the live reporting years and counting chip stacks, we are just kind of can look at a person's chip stack and be like, okay, that person's got 15K. Or,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like we just know, so we never have to really ask.
That's true. It does help being somewhat good at counting chips. Sometimes, of course, you can't see it because players are, got their hands around their stacks or whatever. But in general, very helpful to be good at eyeballing stacks.
Check.
Who's the best poker player in the chat? Announce yourself. Announce yourself. These 2 guys playing it coy. Of course, not a lot of wiggle room here.
Check.
Oh wow, got a few people already announcing they are the best. Taylor Groove says, tips for counting stacks. Well, the first one I'd say is identifying the value of a 20 stack, which is the most common height of chips. So if you play 1-3, $5 chips, 1 stack, $100 bucks. It's a good starting point. And then I do these weird things like, visualize half stacks and stuff like that.
I mean, if you've got chips at home, stack a bunch of chips up,
Exactly.
back up 5-10 feet, look at it and try and count it.
Maybe 7 douche, right?
Today says, what if players don't stack their chips in 20s? Then you toss your drink across the table.
Merry Christmas.
I'm not responsible for the outcome of that, but just tell people to stack their chips properly. I get so tilted when people have especially in live cash games at lower stakes that I play sometimes, they have these massive towers of chips in all random heights. That doesn't fly with me. Alexandra Brown says, I'm the worst. Well, at least they're more honest than those calling themselves the best. If you're just tuning in,
So
please
1 million
smash that like button, by the way. Subscribe to our channel.
back.
We're on the road to 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Be cool to hit it before WSOP.
1,045,000.
1,045,000?
Yeah.
Lin and Kim now very close together in stacks. Tom Mitchell, actually with quite a funny idea. PokerGO should have an online chat tournament to determine the best poker players in the chat. And then we'd have a little crown icon for the ultimate chat pro.
There you go.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
All in.
Brian Kim moves on with 10-6 suited.
5.
Queen 10 for Dan Smith.
Queen 10 off. Might just be not good enough to get called here. And we can obviously see he's dominating, but it's also a spot where I don't think Dan Smith
15?
needs to take the higher variance route,
Right.
because of what's been happening so far at the final table.
Well,
I miscounted by 10.
Oh, a million. Million 50 or 1.5. That's fine. I didn't mean to. I just thought you said
It was
like
$1,055,000 instead of $1,045,000.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I thought you said 15. Like my hand was for like half a big one. I think I would have called. So I thought you said 15, not 15.
Well, that could have been bad for me.
It could have been. Donnie, is there a penalty for misannouncing your
for me,
stack
right?
size?
Nice.
I don't think so.
You should just.
I mean, if you're
have
doing
one
it
here,
and you're
it's not
clearly
called.
angling, I think it's going to
Only
be
talk
addressed.
that
But
much,
How much you have?
you can just
Uh,
be wrong, right? I mean,
I'm just gonna say
Well,
that's about
you
4
look
million.
and I look. Okay.
and ultimately, it's on
1
the
million.
responsibility of the player, such as Dan Smith in that situation, where he can ask the
1.6
dealer to
plus
break it
one.
down,
Yeah,
give
yeah,
him an
1.1,
exact
thank
count.
You don't look and they ask me how much. Oh, professional foul. I think I never call you.
Jason Barker, you're calling 15. You're calling 35.
I mean, I don't think it was that big of a discrepancy, but
Right.
yeah.
wasn't that the Dario Sammartino?
Yeah, the Dario
situation?
Sammartino.
Yeah.
With like 11 players left in the WSB main event.
Yeah, no big deal. There's not a lot of equity up for grabs. Hawaii boy asking, is this live? You guys in the chat know what to do. 4-3 suited for Smith on the button here. Looks small and speculative, but still, maybe it's good enough to raise with. Just keep applying that pressure to these short stacks. See, this is a test to see how many regulars we have with us here, and I'm pleased to see that chat's showing up. Lin once again limping. The tiptoeing and the dancing on the tightrope between two short stacks.
I think a little
quite-
bit more than you.
It's quite funny to watch.
Maybe very close. No. I think it's same. Same. 1.2, so. No, 1.1 here, so 1.2. Even. Ah, dangerous.
Friendly.
Okay, friendly. Check. Check.
Not much happening so far in this hand. Obviously, a 9 on the river, though, would be a pretty brutal card as it relates to Kim, as Lin would have the higher straight. And there it is. Look at that. Wow. Wow.
There's like no money in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
but
Ren Lin limped. Brian Kim checked. They've checked it down to the river now. So because the pot is so small, maybe Brian Kim doesn't go broke. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
$80,000 is the bet.
260.
260.
Brian Kim with the raise to 260. Little does he know, he's opening Pandora's box. I was going to say Pantera's box. That's a very
That works, whatever.
Rock and roll heavy box. Donnie, Brian Kim is going to get faced with the ultimate decision here.
I think so, yeah. Ren Lin blocks the queen jack. That could beat him. There's probably a percentage of the time that Brian Kim's going to raise or shove queen jack pre-flop.
All in.
There it is, all in from Ren Lin.
Wow, Ren Lin does move all in. If the math is correct, Lin has Kim covered by just 45,000. Brian Kim with a straight was raising for value. All of a sudden, this becomes an awful spot for him.
I've been folding incorrectly every time, and I feel like I'm going to do it again.
Well, Brian Kim suggesting he's going to get rid of this one.
This time I really, really want to, but I probably won't.
He's spot on.
Using a little speech play there, trying to get a read, but Ren Lin as motionless as a statue.
This is disgusting stuff. Three-handed in a 25K high roller. You're short, you're battling to get down to heads-up play, and then this is what the dealer puts out there. Oh, wow, Brian Kim makes the call. He's shown the higher straight, and they're going to count to verify. But if these are correct, Brian Kim will be eliminated in third place.
I think I got cover.
$176,000 is his share of the prize pool. What an unfortunate end here to Brian Kim's tournament. Started today as the chip leader, finished in third place.
We'll see. I might have like one chip.
Brian Kim just wants to make sure.
It's always worth making sure.
Yeah.
You know, the graphics can be wrong.
You could come back from just one chip. We've seen that happen before.
I guess it's GG maybe.
I mean, we could be wrong too.
It is GG for Brian Kim. We're down to heads-up play here at the Chip Count presented by Global Poker. Dan Smith, 4.5 million. Ren Lin, 2.4 million. 57 bigs versus 30 bigs. We're taking a short break. 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5 minutes with heads-up action between Dan Smith and Ren Lin. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We'll catch you guys in just a few.
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at gtowizard.com.
Yeah,
okay, nice
for the other team.
Oh,
but,
it was it's an own goal, as they call it.
But you got to start somewhere.
That's true. You put the ball in the net. That's what you always say to do in soccer. You
That's
try
right.
just confused.
Yeah, got a deal. And if he scores a goal for his team, I'm going to get him a Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, important qualifier. It's got to be for your team.
For his team, yeah.
Did he know that going into the game? It had to be for his team?
He knows that now.
Okay.
So he's got something to really work hard at. He's a big flopper out there, which makes him look like a very good soccer player.
Yeah, accomplished
That's all
player.
they do. A lot of flopping. And listen, if he doesn't score a goal, his birthday's coming up this fall. I'm going to get...
I need to calm down.
Take one off.
700. 695.
King 10 suited for Punsri. About 15 bigs in the small.
You said 695?
Plus that. So 720.
Oh, Smith has ace-7 in the big. is just too good.
Very likely too good. You're just ahead a decent amount of the time. Was that a call or just counting chips here?
Counting it out.
Boy, that was close.
Call.
There's the call, and here we go. Punsri all in and at risk. The slight underdog against Dan Smith. Looks to extend his chip lead.
Club 7 of spades.
Okay. My hand very pretty.
HO8.
It's a fair fight.
This would be insanely tight at the top if Punsri was able to win. Queen 5-3, a safe flop for Dan Smith. Punsri looking for a king or a 10 or backdoor cards to make a straight. Finds a king on the turn. Now it's Smith relegated to 3 outs. Needs an ace to bust Punsri. It's another king. Punnat Punsri back in the mix.
In play.
Everybody's got a piece.
A little taste.
Katz building towers over there on the left side of your screen.
And Katz, the chip leader, that is less than 30% of the chips. It is quite literally anyone's ball game. Well, except for me, you, and the viewers at home. But anyone sitting at the table can win this, Jeff.
Gotcha. We'll get him next year. Probably won't.
I might play the 50K.
5-4-3 with 2 spades. Katz the gutter, Kim the flush draws, king high's best.
Check.
I'm sure the players would be thrilled to have you in there. Because of your radiant personality, of course.
Well, they always want me involved, Jeff.
Right. Jack of
Meanwhile,
spades on the turn. So Katz turns top pair, yet is drawing dead against the flush of Brian Kim. Katz leads for 110.
And what does Kim do now? Did we get too many folds out of Hefe? Whenever he does have a jack, if we do put in the raise, we have position in the hand. You love this. Just call. Remain under-repped.
River ace of clubs.
And a scary ticket, I believe, from the mind of El Jefe, Cary Katz. There it is, a little check and decide. Were we worried about Kim perhaps having the ace of spades in his possession?
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at GTOWizard.com.
Welcome back to the PokerGO studio in Las Vegas. Event number 9, 25K No Limit Hold'em, is down to heads-up play between Dan Smith and Ren Lin. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me as always as we look to find out who wins this event and puts themselves in a great position to potentially win the overall in the 2023 USPO. If you want to listen to Jeff Platt and Brent Hanks, they are on the call on PokerGo.com. And Natalie Bodie is with us today for some sideline action and hopefully a fun winner interview with either one of these 2 players. Mr. No Gamble, No Future himself, Ren Lin, brought the sticker, and he might slam it into the middle quite a few times here as he looks to overcome almost a 2-to-1 chip deficit. Already $258,000 guaranteed for these 2, and just shy of $400K up top for the winner.
No matter what happens, Ren Lin is first on the series leaderboard.
Wow.
By making it to heads-up play, he moves ahead of Sam Soverall at the top.
Nice.
So going into that final event, the 50K, which we already saw Sam Soverall is in, Ren Lin is the man to catch.
What about Dan Smith?
Dan Smith is making, well, he can move as high as 5th place if he wins. He had 113 points coming in. So he can jump up to 5th place if he does win. If he wins, he would be on 353 points. But
oh, wow.
What? First hand, really?
We're coming out swinging here. The first hand, Lin makes
Wow.
it 200K, and Smith just moves all in. Wow.
I mean, Lin has enough big blinds that he might just want to fold this, but...
First hand already with it. Down.
This is crazy.
You gamble too much.
Dan Smith accused of gambling.
Cowboys like to gamble, man. Let's go.
I mean, Ren Lin does not have many time bank chips left. He has a real decision here with ace-9 offsuit. Donnie, this is a call, right? 30 bigs, or is it too much?
I'm saying 30 bigs might be too much, that even if you are ahead, or do you want to just get it in there like a 60-40, you know? I mean, then again, if you're up against someone as good as Dan Smith, and if you think you're at a skill disadvantage, maybe you just gamble for it, right?
Right. Wow. Ren Lin, serious consideration here to make the call and to be at risk on the very first hand of heads-up play.
Smith can be shoving a lot of Broadway suited cards. He can be shoving pairs that are under the 9.
Oh, wow.
The call.
Makes the call. We got an all-in on the very first hand.
Okay. I mean.
I can get a ruin.
What happened?
By the time I finish this.
I think it's their own time. I look at the time.
Oh, wow. Ren Lin's time, did it run out?
What is going on?
All right, what happened?
He was on his time extension as soon as it hit.
It was past a minute.
I think it's own time.
Wow, controversy.
Our rule is that if they can finish their action by the time the dealer says time extension, they get the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. I thought it was 60.
That is our rule. That is our rule.
All right, Paul Campbell explains the rules. Ren Lin made the decision to make the call within the limits of the rules, and here we are, time for an all-in showdown. Ren Lin, a favor to double up here on the very first hand of heads-up play. Dan Smith at risk with Jack-7 suited. I mean, it's 60-40. It's basically anyone's game right now. Ladies and gentlemen, are we going to see a champion crowned, or will Dan Smith now be at a 2-to-1 chip disadvantage at the completion of this hand? Here comes the flop. Jack in the window for Dan Smith, and he's now 2 cards away from taking the crown in event number 9 of the 2023 USPO. Ren Lin looking for one of the 3 remaining aces, potentially a backdoor straight draw. The straight draw is dead. An ace and an ace only will save Ren Lin, or Dan Smith will win this event. Dealer, show us the river card. Can Ren Lin survive with a miracle river card? It is not there. It's a 3 of hearts.
You're not happy with this hand.
Jack-7, good hand.
It's your day.
My day.
It is Dan Smith's day. He collects just shy of 400K as Ren Lin is our runner-up, taking home $258,000. And he will jump into the 50K as the overall leader in the USPO. Wow.
Okay.
Big win for Dan Smith. We got an interview coming up with Dan Smith, so don't go anywhere. Here's a look at our payouts presented by Global Poker. Schulman was the first to go, and he went out fast. And Dan Smith taking home just shy of $400,000. Very exciting stuff at today's final table. But we have one more for you in store. Event 10 tomorrow, streaming live on YouTube as well. It's a 50K no limit with a lot of money on the line. In addition to the regular event payouts, there also will be that 50K USPO cash bonus on the line. And now, of course, we have Dan Smith and Ren Lin all in the mix. I think we can go way down the list to see who will still have a fighting chance to be in the mix for that event. And for some players, a min cash might be enough, but for most, it's going to take a really deep run in that final event number 10 at the USPO. Tomorrow, we're starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, a little bit later. But first, let's listen to Dan Smith.
Dan, a big-time win at a major PGT event. How does it feel?
Feels good. It's my first time winning in this room somehow, and it's nice to finally get it done.
Well, congratulations. It is my pleasure to present you this trophy.
It's beautiful.
Congratulations. Pick it up. Yeah, go ahead. Jeff, back to you.
All right, Natalie there with Dan Smith hoisting the trophy, but of course he has a chance to win the big one. Dan Smith now 5th place on the overall USPO standings. Ren Lin on top though. Sam Soverel, Joey Weissman, Darren Elias already in the mix in the 50K. Everyone is going to be gunning for that 60-pound Gold Eagle trophy and 50K cash bonus. So once again, tune in tomorrow for the conclusion of the 2023 USPO. We got a lot of money on the line and a lot of faces gunning for the title. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. See you then.